I want to see what y'all's sentiment is first. So either put helping or hurting, because I want to hear y'all's sentiment. So either put helping or hurting. And the question is Steve Harvey helping our Black culture, or is Steve Harvey hurting our Black culture? Black women in particular, relationships, marriages, divorces. Is he helping or hurting? All right, so while y'all do that, make sure to hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Because I want to hear y'all's sentiment, because we got a lot we're going to talk about. So a lot of people are saying hurting. Ooh, let me get my water. Hold on. Let me get my water. Type helping or hurting in the chat. Give me 1 second. Okay, so some of y'all are saying helping. Some of y'all are saying helping. Okay, the 90-day rule is helpful. Okay, somebody said that. All right, this is interesting. We have somewhat of a, well, it's mainly hurting, but we got some helpings in there also. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to do this show is because, one, of course, Steve Harvey just did his an interview, a pretty interesting interview, and I got part of the show. I'm going to bring it up. We're going to talk about some things. What is it? Shay. What is it? Shannon Sharpe has a YouTube show or a podcast, and it's something Shay. I forgot the name of it. Sorry, Shannon Sharpe. But can somebody tell me what the name of Club Shay? That's what it is. It's called Club Shay. Club Shay. Somebody said helping his help us identify how not to be. Ooh, how not to be. That's interesting. All right, hit the like button, 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 hit the like button. So the majority of y'all are saying Steve Harvey is hurting our people. And I actually agree. Now, we're going to break all of this down because I think it's important for us to talk about how, why, who, what, and when. Because there's a lot of pieces to this. Because there's some positives about Steve Harvey, and there's some negatives about Steve Harvey, and we won't break all this down because we need to figure out, do we need to kick him out or do we need to look up to him? Because some got to give. Because at some point, we got to sit back and look at me. We got to look at Steve Harvey. We got to look at people and say, hey, is this person hurtful or is it helpful? And we need to just have an objective way of looking at things. So let me play a little bit of this, and then we're gonna talk about it. So we're gonna go straight to it. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button.
Hey, they'd catch me out. They'd lick. Women is everything. They'd catch me out. They'd lick, man. Women is everything. They'd catch me out. They'd lick, man.
Steve Harvey is on his third marriage. Mm-hmm. His third wife was mistress to his second wife. Yet, black people have anointed this the oracle when it comes to black dating.
These dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. We've had this conversation. He had to understand.
Okay, so I want to give some, I want to back this up a little bit. I want to back this up a little bit because this is about to get a little crazy. So in the beginning, he says, women are the cat's meow. I don't know what the hell that means. that don't know, I don't know what the hell women are the cat's meow means. What the hell is that? So that's the first thing. So the first thing that came out of his mouth was pandering. It was panderous. Women are the cat's meow. And then he turns around and says some more panderous crap. How does a person that can make another you need to bring something else to the table? How can somebody that can make another you need to bring something to the table? What are y'all thoughts on that one statement? What do y'all think in the chat? What do y'all think about that? How can somebody that can make another you need to bring something else to the table? Because I want to take a second and see what y'all have to say about that one thought, and I'm going to share what I have to say about that. Because this is crazy. He says, how can somebody that can make another you be required to bring something else to the table other than that? Because this is the problem. What are y'all thoughts? Because some got to give. Pain when he makes bad decisions but won't take accountability. I agree. I totally agree. So the problem I have with statements like this is there is no context to it. All right, there's no context to it. One, I don't know what the hell women are the cat's meow. I don't know what the hell that means. It sounds stupid, but do we need women? Yes. Could we live without women? No. You know, Kevin Samuels used to sit around and babble about how we can live without women and the world to be okay without women. No, the hell it can't. No, it can't. The world would be trash without women. So I don't know what the hell Kevin Samuels was talking about, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell Steve Harvey is talking about. Women are the cat's meow. I don't know what the hell that means. And then the second thing he says was, all a woman really needs to do is bring her womb to the table because she has the ability to make another you, and that's all she needs to bring to the table. Let's listen again, because somebody said he didn't say that.
Women is everything. They the catch me out. They the lick, man. Women is everything. They the catch me out. They the lick, man.
Steve Harvey is on his third marriage. His third wife was mistress to his second wife. Yet, black people have anointed this the oracle when it comes to black dating.
These dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you.
We're going to stop right there for a second. Steve, Mr. Harvey, you have to put the things that you're saying in context. And the context is the problem. Because some of us don't need to make another us. Like, for example, I don't want to have no more kids. I still need a woman, right? So with all that being said, if according to Steve Harvey, all you have to bring to the table is the ability to give birth to a child? Steve Harvey, according to that one statement, is hurtful to our people. One, he's hurting black women by making black women think that they don't have to do nothing. All they got to do is make a baby. That's the first thing. That's just asinine to say. Because this is coming from a man, and this isn't an indictment on him, trying to make him, like, I'm not trying to demonize him with this statement, but you said in this same Club Shay Shay interview that your second wife were in cahoots with your tax person, you know, the person that did his taxes, and they both ran off with $30 million of his money. So with all that being said, more context needs to be added to that conversation, because one, it's going to have women thinking, I don't have to bring nothing to the table. I don't have to do nothing. I could just bring my womb to the table and get this man a baby and everything will work out. Well, let me tell y'all something about making another you, how that can actually hurt you. If you have a baby with a toxic woman, if you have a baby with a crazy woman, you have a baby with a bipolar woman, you have a baby with a lazy woman, that other you that you create with this crazy woman is going to make a crazy child. Half of her DNA is now in that child. So I just don't understand how Steve Harvey can just be on a platform, any platform, and just say like mess like this. It just boggles my mind. And this is not about him being divorced 3 times or on his 3rd marriage. Because in my opinion, being divorced and then being remarried actually is a positive thing. What up, Lady Shan? And the reason why I say it's a positive thing is because, one, it's a positive thing because altogether, young people are afraid of marriage. Men are afraid of marriage. Women are afraid of marriage. And when you are able to sit back and watch or be entertained or just be counseled by a person that was married or is married, they can teach you something. So the fact that Kevin Samuels was divorced is a good thing. The fact that I was married and divorced is a good thing. And the fact that Steve Harvey is married, divorced, and married and divorced, and now married is actually better than me and Kevin Samuels. So to a certain degree, to a high degree, with all context pulled away, Steve Harvey is good for our culture due to the fact that the man got divorced and got remarried and still isn't married. So I look at things in an objective manner. So you have Steve Harvey, the man, and you have Steve Harvey, the character. I'll say that again. You have Steve Harvey, the man, and you have Steve Harvey, the character. I have a problem with Steve Harvey's character. Steve Harvey is known for saying whatever he needs to say in order to please women. He'll say whatever that needs to be said in order to please women, because that is his demographic. And everywhere he goes, he says this pandering bullshit that holds up his brand. It's not many times that you'll hear that Steve Harvey is actually being objective in any particular question, because he has asked Steve. In almost every situation that you've heard, is always towards the woman. So if Steve Harvey would be more of a man or the man or himself instead of this character, we wouldn't look at Steve Harvey as detrimental to black women in our black culture. And that's really all I would like to see. Stand up and say, hey, 2 failed marriages, but hey, I didn't give up on love and I married this woman and I'm happy. That alone is worth talking about. But when you start adding all this, women ought to cast me out, and all the women need to do is do this. Now you sound stupid. So we're gonna go a little farther in this video, because this is not a roast video of Steve Harvey. This is not a video meant to down Steve Harvey or expose Steve Harvey. But we have to look at Steve Harvey as a man in order for us to trust his character. Because remember I said, Steve Harvey, the person, and Steve Harvey, the character. And before we do that, let's do a quick commercial break. For those who don't know, I have a card game that just came out and folks are loving it thus far. And the link to my card game is pinned at the top of this chat. And if you're watching on Instagram, you can buy my card game. Is actually pinned at the top of the link in my bio. So if you want to buy my new Deeper Discussions card game, whether you're on Instagram or on YouTube or on Facebook, the link to the card game is pinned in my bio or pinned in this chat on YouTube. So hold on, check this out.
Support MrLetGo. Shout out to you for this. I had to go ahead and support MrLetGo. Shout out to you for this cool card game. You guys, the questions on here are actually really dope. Like, they're really good questions for couples, new relationship, old relationship. Like, these are actually really good questions on these cards. I'm gonna kind of try with one hand to show you an example of a question. Let's see. First question would be, what are your 5 absolute deal breakers in choosing a potential marriage partner? Like, these are the questions that are on these cards, y'all, and they're very, very entertaining, I promise.
What if I told you that playing a simple, fun card game will help you vet the person you're dating better? We all know that it's pee in a dating pool, right? But what do you do about this? Over 80 intriguing questions that will help you vet your mate better or the person you're dating better. You're going to have so much of a better understanding of not only the other person, but yourself. You know why? Because you now have a fun excuse to have deeper discussions. So either click the link below or click the link in my bio to buy your Deeper Discussions card game. All right, back to the show. All right, let's keep going on with this video. And like I said, go to the top of this link in the chat, buy my card game, buy my card game. The best way for you to support the channel is to buy my card game, because that way, instead of just a super chat, that's cool. Instead of just a cash app, that's cool. You could buy a card game that you could sit back and play with your homegirls, with your friends, with your family members. If you're a guy, you can have a woman over. You can have a little card party. You can have a bunch of guys and women over, and everybody just hang out, just play the card game. You'll have an actual product instead of just a simple super chat or a cash app. So drop some color in this chat. Drop a super chat. Cash app is Aaron1000 if you want to support the channel, or the link in my bio. The link at the top of this chat. Buy my card game. All right, so let's keep going.
Conversation. He had to understand what my decision was wrong.
Now, remember what he just said right here. Listen to what he just said.
Black people have anointed this the oracle when it comes to black dating.
These dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. We've had this conversation. He had to understand what my decision that I made at 25. Come on, man. Come on, 25?
Do you see how he's dismissing having a child at 25? You see that, right? He's dismissing 25. Come on, man. I was 25. I ain't know what I was doing. But just right here, he turns around and says this.
What do she bring to the table?
No, hold on. He's talking about the young dudes. Hold on.
What do she bring to the table? That's what's wrong with this generation today.
That's what's wrong with this generation today. What's up, Red Lipstick Vibes? What's up, Terica? Everybody hit the like button. We need about probably about 100 likes. I need everybody to stop for a second and hit the like button. We need about 100 likes. We need 100 likes. We need 100 likes. We need 100 likes. We need 100 likes. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. So this man just sat here and said, these young boys today have a problem with the women and all this other stuff, right? But at the same time, you had twin babies at the age of 25, and you leave your wife. And then you turn around and have a boy. So it's 3 children. And then you leave your marriage. But guess what? Y'all can say the same thing about me. I was under 25 when I left my marriage. So, with all that being said, what does a man do after that? Because we all make mistakes. Some of y'all women had a baby. Some of y'all women had a fatherless baby, had a little Pookie baby at 22 or 19, right? But the number one thing we cannot do as adults, because 25, you're a whole adult. You cannot just dismiss the fact that you did something wrong. That's the problem I had with Steve Harvey right here. Because like I said, I left my marriage, I think I was 22 something. I don't remember what age I was. But the bottom line is, I did the same thing, somewhat. I broke up my marriage at a young age. But you're never going to hear me turn around and say, man, I was 25. Man, I was 22. Man, I was young. Because the same thing with women. Man, I was young and dumb. I was young. No. You were stupid. Steve Harvey was stupid. And I was stupid. So that is the thing that we have to acknowledge. The things that we did were stupid, and we got to be held accountable for those things. And we can't be allowed to turn around. Oh, I was young. I was young and dumb. I was 22 or 25. No. You got to stand on that shit. You got to stand on that shit. And he is not standing on this shit. He's dismissing his own transgressions. And that right there is not a man. I'll say that again. That is not a man. But this is what I'm saying. You can't sit around and pander to women in one sentence and then turn around and damn bail yourself out with your mistakes in a sentence. No, you got to stand on that shit. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button.
These young boys today, do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. We've had this conversation. He had to understand what my decision that I made at 25. Come on, man. Come on, 25? I got twins at 25. What I'm doing making decisions. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible?
However, even though their marriage was pretty rocky by that time, Marsha and Steve Harvey had a son, Broderick Harvey Jr., but just like the twins, Broderick never had a relationship with his father, and it's something he even admitted really affected him.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25. Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family?
Do y'all hear this bullshit, y'all? Do y'all hear this crap? You sit around and dismiss your actions like, I was 25. Come on, man. In other words, what do you expect out of me at the age of 25? Nigga, you had 3 children. 3. And this is where me and Steve Harvey separate. There's not a week, because I've been away from my kids for a day, but there's not I would say 2 weeks, because I've been away from my kids for a week. There's not a 2-week span that my kids can say, my daddy wasn't around. Because it's what you do after the transgression. Like I said, I made mistakes. Steve Harvey made mistakes. Y'all made mistakes. Kevin Samuels made mistakes. All these people made mistakes, all of us, right? But what did you do after the mistake? That is where you see the manhood come out. That is where you see the adulthood come out. That is where you see the actual character of the person come out, because we all make mistakes. I got a huge problem with single motherhood, but I have no problem dating a single mother. Why? Because if she got a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 18-year-old, hey, she was 25. What do you want from me? I was 25, and I get that to her. I give it to her. You was 19, 25, 21, and you had a child out of wedlock, I ain't gonna be mad at you. As long as you don't do the shit again. I have a problem with the thought process that it's okay to do the shit again. That's the problem I have with. But if you turn around and say, well, I was 25, Aaron, 25, I was 25. I'll be like, cool, I get it. Because guess what? I got a 25 story also. Why you divorced your wife? Cause man, I was 23 or 24 or whatever age I was 22. What do you want from me? I was a kid. Okay. But do you do this shit again? Do you do it again? Steve Harvey did it again. Steve Harvey did it again. Some of these single mothers have 3-year-olds and they're 35. Because that actually means they did the shit again. That is the actual problem. How do you operate after the transgression? Everybody hit the like button, everybody hit the like button, everybody hit the like button. What do you do after the transgression? Do you turn around and do the same shit over and over again? That means you have a problem. And that is the problem I have with Steve Harvey. Because he did the shit over and over again. The nigga had 3 kids and he sits back and just says, hey man, I was 25. So, and then in another breath, last week, gets on Shannon Sharpe's show, talking about men of this generation are this and men of this generation are that. Guess what? Men of this generation ain't even having kids. This nigga got what, 13 kids? Because he adopted Marjorie's kids. So that's the thing we got to pay attention to, y'all. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. What's going on? All right, here we go. But we got more. We got more. This is a what have you done for me lately society. And a lot of these women and a lot of these dudes are still doing the same bullshit that they did years ago. And that is the problem. You can't sit around talk shit about this generation where when you were this generation, generations ago, you did the same shit as the men in this generation did. That makes you a damn hypocrite.
These dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do
you did the same shit, bro? You did the same shit while you sitting there banging on that damn table. You did the same shit. Stand on your shit, bro.
she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you.
We've had this conversation. He had to understand what my decision that I made at 25.
That right there just makes me want to throw up in my mouth. How he's just sitting here just dismissing that shit. Like, come on, man. Nigga. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I'm not going to say what kind of man is this, but I want to say what kind of character is this? Because that's what I'm saying. There's Steve Harvey, the man, and there's Steve Harvey, the character. And I think sometimes Steve Harvey gets caught up in his character and forget that he's actually a man also. Because now you sounding like a whole hypocrite. Like you can't be the guru of whatever running around hypocritically speaking on another generation that you did when you were their generation.
Come on, 25? I got twins at 25.
That's even worse. That's even worse. What are you talking about?
What I'm doing, making decisions.
What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible?
However, even though their marriage was pretty rocky by that time, Marcia and Steve Harvey had a son, Broderick Harvey Jr., but just like the twins, Broderick never had a relationship with his father, and it's something he even admitted really affected him.
I didn't really have...
All right, listen to this part, y'all. You ain't never gonna hear my kids say no shit like this. Because remember, what have you done after the transgression? Because we've all messed up. We've all ruined our own lives, ruined other people's lives. Some of y'all went to jail. Some of y'all had babies. We all did some dumb stuff, right? But what did you do afterwards? Listen to this shit.
have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
Until I was 16. Sound like some 50 Cent shit. He's almost worse than 50 Cent. Y'all remember 50 Cent? His son begging him to spend time with him. 50 Cent disowns his damn son around the age of 16. At least Steve finally came around. But damn, Steve. 50 Cent ain't no love guru. 50 Cent didn't write no book on relationships.
Twins Broderick never had a relationship with his father, and it's something he even admitted really affected him.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
But you didn't do the job, Steve. Sounds like a woman was taking care of some children by her damn self while you, but let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
They've had to be independent because they ain't got the right man.
You got 3 kids, Marjorie had kids. How was the blended family? How did that work, Steve?
Oh, that shit hard. We brought all the kids together, all 7 of them. And all the girls went bowling and came back and decided they didn't want us to get married and said they don't think it's the right thing to do.
All right. Contribute to the channel. Either Cash App, Aaron 1000. Put some color in this chat by dropping a super chat. Or do something for yourself and buy my card game. Link is in the top of the chat. Contribute to the channel. I'm speaking to you right now. Contribute to the channel. 3 options: Cash App, super chat, or simply buy my card game. I'm waiting. Contribute to the channel.
And they need more time to get to know us. And I'm sitting up here looking at some people that ain't got shit. I'm sitting up here going, y'all ain't got a relationship, a good ass job, a career. I'm paying for colleges and shit. I don't know how I'm listening to y'all making some damn.
So
How did that work, Steve?
Oh, that shit hard. We brought all the kids together, all 7 of them. And all the girls went bowling and came back and decided they didn't want us to get married and said they don't think it's the right thing to do. And they need more time to get to know us. And I'm sitting up here looking at some people that ain't got shit.
So this is an issue that I also have. And this possibly, because I don't know the man, but this possibly can tell me that Steve Harvey is a terrible parent. And I say this to his face. You know, I don't have no problem with Steve Harvey, but at the end of the day, if I meet a woman, and because you got to remember, 2 of these girls were Steve Harvey's daughters, and one of the girls was Lori Harvey. Think about that now. 2 of the girls were Steve Harvey's daughters. Remember, I had twins at 25. Remember he said that? 25. I had twins. Those are the twin girls and Lori Harvey. So the twin girls that he had at 25 don't like what's going on. Lori Harvey doesn't like what's going on. And this nigga turns around and says, I don't care what y'all think. And all the females, the daughters said was, we just think y'all should get to know each other a little better. You know why? Because what men and women don't realize is whatever mom does with her life, whatever man mom chooses to be with affects them. Especially the woman, especially the girls. Why? Because girls usually stay at home longer. Girls usually hold the family together more often. The girls are usually the most domestic people who are going to cohabitate with the people inside of the house versus being out in the world. And at the same time, they're girls. So for you to just literally say to the girls, your girls, the daughters, not the males, the girls, that I don't care what y'all think, I'm finna do what I want to do with your mama, and without taking them their opinions in consideration, it's not good parenting. Now, one thing I do, I take my kids' opinions in consideration. 1000%. I take my kids' opinions in consideration. And if I was about to marry a woman and my kids was like, hold on, Dad, how about you take it a little longer instead of just jumping up and marrying this woman? I'd be like, I'll take that in consideration. Why? Because my kids have a say-so in my life. Why? Because when my life changes, their life is going to change. But what man doesn't know this? What man is going to literally ignore their kids' experience of you and this woman and just turn around and just ignore it and just say, forget what y'all think. I'm going to do what I want to do. Isn't that what women usually do? See, a leader, a man considers everything. A man considers everybody, every part of this group, and makes the best decision for everybody, not just for him. That's what men do. And like I said, I'm just looking at all of this from an objective eye. I ain't got no smoke for Steve Harvey. I had a whole bunch of people asking me, what is my opinion about Steve Harvey just altogether as a person? I said, all right, let's do it. So, like I said, a leader, a man, takes everybody's sentiments and thoughts, issues, grievances, and opinions and considers it. Period. My last girlfriend, my kids was like, Daddy, who is this girl? Daddy, blah, 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 blah. My oldest daughter had a little hand on her hips. Daddy, what are you talking about? Who is she? I was like, hold your little horses. And it's cute. It's beautiful to know that my kids have my best interests at heart, along with their best interests at heart. Because they already know if I get married or remarried or settle down or whatever, this woman, whoever the woman is, and if she has kids, the woman may get some of the money that they may get if I die or if, whatever. So they have a vested interest in who I settle down with. But for this man to turn around and totally ignore how his daughters feel about his overzealousness of marrying this woman. And mind you, there's an easy understanding of why they're a little worried or apprehensive about dating and marrying Marjorie Harvey. Does anybody know why his daughters had somewhat of an apprehension for Steve Harvey to marry somebody like Marjorie Harvey or Marjorie, whatever her last name was? Does anybody know why? Shout out to L. Nixon. I appreciate you for the super chat. What's good, bro? Good breakdown. I'm going to check out the card game. Congratulations on that. I appreciate that. I'm dropping it. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. Just dropped the link to buy the card game just now. The link to buy the card game is in the chat right now. And on Instagram, to buy my card game, it is in the link in my bio. Thank you, Lorenzo. Lorenzo Davis says she was a drug dealer, allegedly. She was an alleged drug dealer. She was an alleged drug dealer in Memphis, Tennessee. Lorenzo said that, not me. So Lorenzo Davis says Marjorie Harvey was an alleged drug dealer in Memphis, Tennessee. So there was a reason for everybody to be a little apprehensive on Steve Harvey's choice of women. So with all that being said, why not sit back for a second, breathe, not be so overzealous, because you could turn around and end up in another divorce and getting tore up in the courts, which also almost happened, just so y'all know. Does anybody know that I think 2 years ago there was a $400 million divorce that was about to happen between the two? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Steve, I need y'all to see this. $400 million. Yeah, back in 2018. Back in 2018. You know what? I'm just going to share this with y'all because the videos, I don't want to have no problems with the video. So hold on. I just want to show y'all. I'm just going to show y'all the title. Y'all see the title right there? Steve Harvey may be facing $400 million divorce with, let me see. It is right there. With Marjorie Harvey because of Kris Jenner. Right there. So that's all his kids was looking to do, trying to help this man not lose everything. Because Marjorie was around when the man was probably close to $1 billion. And Marjorie almost clipped this man for $400 million. So that means, I don't know, he's probably worth, I don't know. But altogether, if she's going to get half, that means he wasn't that far from $1 billion, which is beautiful. But at the same time, what if she would have divorced him, y'all? Do you think his kids would have been right about Marjorie? If she would have went forward with the divorce and would have divorced the man and would have gotten $400 million, do you think he would have been sitting around talking about, I don't care what they think, I'm going to do what I want? No, because they would have been right.
I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
They've had to be independent because they ain't got the right man.
You got 3 kids, Marjorie had kids. How was the blended family? How did that work, Steve?
Oh, that shit hard. We brought all the kids together, all 7 of them. And all the girls went bowling and came back and decided they didn't want us to get married and said they don't think it's the right thing to do. And they need more time to get to know us. And I'm sitting up here looking at some people that ain't got shit. I'm sitting up here going, y'all ain't got a relationship, a good ass job, a career. I'm paying for colleges and shit.
But they still got they still got an opinion, sir. They still got an opinion. Everybody that lives in that house has an opinion. Everybody that lives in that house has an opinion. And for this man to just dismiss everybody's feelings, bad parenting. So that's what I'm saying. We got to separate the man from the character. But now the man isn't looking too good. Because you run around dismissing your children's feelings.
I don't know how I'm listening to y'all making some damn decisions. Y'all ain't got one boyfriend that done worked thus far. You finna tell me how I live. My sons was over there cool with it. Broderick, Jason, and Wynn, they sitting over there, they cool with everything.
Right.
The 4 girls, total, just mayhem.
Totally against it.
Totally against it. Like all of them except the oldest one, my 2 daughters had graduated from college. Morgan was out of college. So the 3 girls were living on their own. Everybody else lived in the house. The 3 boys and the daughter. And Lori grew up with 4 damn brothers.
Why did you continue to believe in love? After everything that you've been, like you're telling me you've gone through a divorce and things happened with the taxes and she took half the money, 3/4 of the money. Here I was, thought you were selling your money because you made all this money on Kings of Comedy and you got $1,700 to your name. Why did you believe in love twice? Why did you believe in you could find love again?
Because of my mom and daddy. My mom and daddy's married 64 years. I saw what it looked like.
Right.
I saw what it looked like when it was hard, when it was good. I watched a man honor a woman.
All right, so this right here is a positive side of Steve Harvey. Because like I said, I'm looking at this whole situation objectively. I'm not looking at this and trying to dog Steve Harvey. I'm looking at this objectively. And what I see right here is Steve Harvey having values, having an understanding of the family system. I see Steve Harvey not wanting to give up on Black families. And this is a good thing. So these are 2 sides of Steve Harvey. But the problem is, I'm just a little confused on what Steve Harvey we get when we're looking at him on TV. Because on one end, he's just running around pandering to Black women. Don't really care what nobody thinks. But on the other end, Steve Harvey believes in Black families. He believes in marriage because his parents were married for, I think, 60 years, which is beautiful.
Why did you believe in love twice? Why did you believe in you could find love again?
Because of my mom and daddy. My mom and daddy's married 64 years.
That's a beautiful thing. But my issue is, why and how has this man had so much of a messy life if he grew up under a mom and dad that were married 60 years? I want to ask y'all that for a second. Do y'all see him as having a messy ass life? I see it. But why did he leave his ex-wife with 3 baby twins and then turn around and have another boy and then end up in a divorce and then turn around and marry another woman and she turns around and takes 30 million? Why is this man going through all this if he was raised so well? Money. Money is what I believe happened. Money. I think money changed Steve Harvey and caused him to ignore what he was raised to do, ignore what he was raised to become, and he just started chasing the money. And I know that a man is supposed to find his purpose, but after you don't had 3 kids already, your purpose is them damn 3 kids. See, I didn't find my purpose until my kids were grown. Because I want y'all to think about that for a second. A man has to find his purpose before finding a woman and starting a family. And everybody hit the like button. Take a second right now. Take a second. Hit the likes, 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 hit the likes. Come on, y'all. Like. The likes are down. Everybody hit the like button, 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 hit the like button. So, a man is supposed to focus on himself and his purpose and what he brings to the table, his ability to take care of his family before settling down and getting married. It looks like Steve Harvey decided to settle down and get married before he found his purpose. And that is where he messed up at. Because he gets married and then he finds his purpose and then he don't want his wife no more. And now his wife is left with 3 little kids looking crazy. So this is what happens to a man when he runs into some damn money. If his character, because we're talking about the character and the man, if his character is problematic, the man is going to be problematic. If a man's character is problematic, a man's manhood, his life, his way of leading is going to be problematic. As you're about to see in the rest of this video. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button.
Because of my mom and daddy. My mom and daddy's married 64 years. I saw what it looked like.
Right.
I saw what it looked like when it was hard, when it was good. I watched a man honor a woman. I've never seen nobody love nobody like my daddy loved my mom. I messed that up. The second one, that one right there, dog. That's just. Need another drink. Because for the first time, man, I had peace at my house.
So is a possibility, because like I said, with me, I found my purpose after my kids were grown. But at the end of the day, I wasn't perfect. But we can learn from people like Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey is a pandering ass dude who sits around kissing women's asses for some money, for some views. I don't necessarily think he's that helpful to our community. I actually think he's hurtful to Black women. But we still can learn from this man. We still can learn from Steve Harvey. We can learn what not to do. We can learn what to do. But in my opinion, the main thing we can learn is what not to do. So now I want to get into Steve Harvey, the character. I want to get into Steve Harvey, the character, because like I said, these are just my objective opinions of Steve Harvey. Is he helpful to the black culture, or is he hurtful and making it worse? I think he's making it worse. Steve Harvey is where Derek Jackson came from. One of my coaches, shout out to David Shands, has always said, you're not a good coach, you're not a good leader if you can't make more good people or more leaders. Well, what is another Steve Harvey? What was the next Steve Harvey? The answer is Derek Jackson. So when you turn around as a man and you quote unquote birth another, and he turns out to be just as problematic as you are to black people and black women, well, that actually tells you who you actually are as an individual. Because are there any other Steve Harveys out there? Can anybody else name somebody that would be looked at as Steve Harvey's social media son or TV son other than Derek Jackson? Let me know if I'm wrong. Who, give me more than one or one son of Steve Harvey, culturally or just social media wise. Name an influencer that will be looked at as Steve Harvey's son. Because we got to look at what is Steve Harvey replicating? What is Steve Harvey making? Derek Jackson wishes he was Steve Harvey. Oh, no, I'm not saying Derek Jackson is Steve Harvey, but Derek Jackson is Steve Harvey's son, social media son. Can't think of anyone. This is all I'm saying, y'all. This is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. So if you create another Steve Harvey and that person is just as bad as you are, Derek Jackson literally cheated on his wife like Steve Harvey did, pandered to women for over 10 years like Steve Harvey did, divorces his wife, leaves her with 3 children like Steve Harvey did, and did absolutely nothing for black people. Ken Bribson, I don't know who that is. So Steve Harvey has to do some level of pandering to stay in his yes. And that's the problem I got with Steve Harvey. That means he has to live in this character. And if you guys follow me, y'all know I be on y'all's asses and the opposite sex asses, whether you're a man or woman. I ain't pandering to none of y'all asses, because that's not what I do. So if you were to see another MrLetGo or my social media son, they wouldn't be running around pandering in no damn body. they will be out here helping end this single mother epidemic like I am. Because like I said, if you cannot make another you, you're not really doing anything. And when that other you comes out, that will be able to tell everybody who you actually are and what you did for black people or your community. And the only baby Steve Harvey that I've ever seen has been Derrick Jackson, and he is worse than Steve Harvey. Cheated on his wife, divorced his wife, left his wife with 3 kids, just like Steve Harvey did. Just like Steve Harvey did. So when your social media kid comes out and does the exact same shit that you do, that shows you that the daddy, Steve Harvey, is trash as well. Because just like I said about y'all women, y'all run around having all these pookie babies. 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, y'all done had these little badass kids. Now, 20 years later, your child is running amok in our cities, tearing up our cities, committing crimes and shit. Same thing with Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's social media son is Derrick Jackson. And his dumbass is running around tearing up the social media world, just like Steve Harvey has been 20 years prior. And that is a problem that I have with Steve Harvey. Because you got young dudes that are like, ooh, wow, he got $100 million. Ooh, he got this, he got that. Ooh, I want to be like Steve Harvey. And then you go out and look to be like Steve Harvey, and you become as destructive as Steve Harvey. That is a problem. That is a problem. I never want some young dude to look up to me and say, ooh, I see what MrLetGo is doing. I'm going to go out and do exactly what MrLetGo is doing out in his community, and then turn around and he starts destroying the damn community. That would tell me that I'm doing something wrong. Because if you blow up and you become famous, somebody's going to come out and start emulating you. And Derrick Jackson is literally the dumbest, most dysfunctional influencer of women that I've ever seen in my life. And that nigga is a baby Steve Harvey. He learned all the shit that he's doing from Steve Harvey. And that is the problem I have with Steve Harvey. Come do something about your little dysfunctional ass kids out here, Steve Harvey. Derrick Jackson is stupid and trash, tearing up the damn neighborhood. It's one of your kids. But this is the problem. Let's keep going. I hate this new configuration on YouTube. I mean, on StreamYard. All right, here we go.
When you got peace at the crib, dog, you can plug in your battery pack and get rejuvenated to go out here and deal with the rest of this shit you got to go deal with.
Right.
Because, hey, man, you know, them folks out there, they not finna change. Later, the movie came out, Think Like What You Could Be, man. And y'all need to quit tricking yourself. Supposed to be. All the rest of us bullshit. Other than your relationship with God, who you choose to spend the rest of your life with is the single most important decision you will ever make. Your other half will be your better half or make you half of what you could be. Wow. She will either inspire you to greatness or reduce you to mediocrity.
So on that note, how do y'all feel about that? We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? So you get married, you get a divorce, things happen, right? But at the same time, when your child or children are alienated by you, when your child or children now turns around and says in multiple interviews that I didn't really know you or you were not in my life until the age of 16, that's not a leader. That's not a leader. And somebody said all Steve's kids is successful. Why? Because they got Steve's money? See, Steve decided to come back and start providing for his kids once he became a millionaire or multimillionaire or whatever. That's cool. But that does not take away from the childhood trauma that those kids had to deal with when your ass wasn't there. So yeah, it's beautiful that Steve was able to come out and adopt her kids and have all the kids together, take care of all of them, buying them, send them to college and buying them whatever it is they want. But that does not mean they're successful. And that does not mean he's successful. Because we don't know what type of father Steve Harvey is. And according to the things that he just said on Club Shay Shay, he may not have been a very good emotionally or physically, because he wasn't even there, a good dad. And we got to be dads and husbands. And in my opinion, a bad husband is a bad dad. Because if you treat the mother of your children badly, your child can't necessarily see your fatherhood without seeing you treating their mom badly. They can't see past what you did to their mom. I need to say that again. Your kids are not going to be able to look past what you did to their mom and ignore that and say, well, my dad was a good father. Well, my dad paid this and he sent me to college. No, that don't make you a good father. Because you can't buy your kids love. That's not how life works. You can't turn around and leave your kids for 15 years. 15 years and then come back and say, hey, I got some money. Here's some money for you. Buy a car, go to college. No. So the lesson we can learn from this is, one, as a man, you got to find your purpose before you find a woman, and leave these damn women alone. Because it's awesome how Steve Harvey got all his kids together and they all are good. But money does not cure childhood trauma. And you turn around and marry this woman, and then you divorce her, and then you get with this other woman, and then you turn around and she divorces you. She takes all your damn money, and then that's okay for a normal person. But when you become this messy, I don't think the community really wants you or needs you. Shout out to Cayman Seaborough. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. So all I'm saying is we men can't just be running around like we don't know what the hell we doing, ruining these women's lives. Steve just happened to sign a couple deals that put him in a position where he can fix all of his wrongs. But that ain't the best way to go. What's going on, Danny? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. No, hold on. Give me a second. I wanna put you on a speaker. Hold on, y'all, for 1 second. I'm gonna add somebody to the show. I gotta add this to the speaker real quick. Hold on 1 second. Where's that damn wire? Hold on 1 second. Let me put all this together. Hold on 1 second. Wire. There it is. Oops, wrong wire. Where's the damn wire? All right, so what you got? I'll figure it out in a second. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit, but go ahead and say what you got to say.
I was asking you, have you ever met Steve Harvey?
No, I have not met him. Have you?
Okay. Yes, I toured with him for 3 years. Steve Harvey gave me a chance in life.
Oh crap! Okay.
Let me explain. Sometimes I hear quite a few people speaking harshly of Steve, and they're unfair in their assessment of Steve.
All right, hold on. I found it. Hold on. I got a wire. Hold on. 1 second. All right, so now I can hook this up the right way. All right, say something now.
Yeah, mic check one. Mic check one. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good now?
Okay, cool. It's nice to meet you, brother, and I hope you can take what I'm about to give to you from direct experience. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You've never met Steve Harvey. You've never sat down, have a conversation with him. You've never had a conversation with his kids. You've never had a conversation with his people. I have.
Okay.
I toured with him for 3 years. Steve Harvey gave me a chance. I came out of prison May 9th, 2005. 2007, I sung on the Steve Harvey morning show, and he invited me to do a show with him in Newark, New Jersey, my first time meeting him in person. I did a tribute to Luther Vandross, got a standing ovation for 2 nights in a row with Steve Harvey. And he kept me as his opening act for 3 years.
Okay,
and
hold on 1 second. YouTube, can y'all hear him? YouTube, can y'all hear him? Just want to make sure. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear him. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear. I just want to make sure because this is pretty interesting. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear him. Come on, y'all. YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the man that is talking on the show with me. Okay, cool. All right, go ahead, brother. I just want to make sure they can hear you.
Okay, my name is Danny Clay.
Okay.
Right? I'm from a small town in Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia, where Ahmaud Arbery was killed by the McMichaels. Again, as I said, I came out of prison May 9th, 2005. Was working, doing what every man should do, working and handling business. And in 2007, I was discovered on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. He allowed me to sing a tribute to Luther Vandross, which I sung a cappella for 40 minutes, 2 days in a row. From there, he invited me to open a show for him in Newark, New Jersey. And after the show, he asked me to stay on with him. We got to know each other. I toured with him for 3 years. And during that time,
I had a chance to really sit down and talk with him, eat breakfast with him, eat lunch with him in his room where he would order, a catered lunch, and then eat dinner every night after shows that we did. And we had a chance to talk. I knew about Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man before it ever became a book or a movie. I had a chance to talk with his kids, Winton, the youngest one, Stevie, his twin daughters, and then the children that he took from for his marriage with his wife,
Marjorie.
Now,
yeah.
I know all for the most part, I know all the good and the bad. I will say that just like many of us in this group chat and many of us in life, we evolve. As men, we evolve from making bad decisions to growing from that and making better decisions. Now, am I saying that because I was discovered by Steve that he is faultless and perfect? No, I'm not. However, what I am saying is that this man has endeavored to do right by God and endeavored to do right by his family to the best of his ability. He acknowledged the wrong that he did when he was previously married. He acknowledged that he married the wrong people at the wrong time. Because I'm gonna tell you something what I've discovered, and this is from conversations with him. The thing that hit Steve Harvey was fame. He wasn't born into fame. He became famous. And I don't know if you ever had a taste of fame. I have. Like I said, I toured with Steve Harvey for 3 years. And it was Steve Harvey who introduced me without my knowledge to Tyler Perry. And I toured with Tyler Perry in the stage play, Medea's Big Happy Family. I played the scary husband, Harold, and I sung the Luther song, If Only for One Night, at the end of the stage play. And since that time, I have been blessed while on parole, brother, to be booked all over the United States and in different countries of the world doing tributes to Luther. I give thanks to that to God, but God used Steve Harvey. The vehicle that it came, the blessing came through was through Steve Harvey. God gave the blessing, but it came through a vehicle, and that was Steve Harvey giving me the exposure. So when I hear people talk about bad things about Steve Harvey, I listen first. I listen. The first thing that I listen for is for direct experience. Have you ever spent a day, a minute, or an hour talking with Steve Harvey? And you haven't, but I have. And so it's unfair for us as Black men, especially Black people, to condemn, judge, or speak against someone without total understanding of a situation. Does Steve being 2 times or 3 times divorced make him a great or a bad person? Neither. It's what you're doing with your life now. When you say Steve Harvey is bad, go ask those kids, the Steve Harvey Dreamers Academy. Go ask those kids, is Steve bad? When you say Steve is bad, go ask those boys that he brings to his farm in Dallas, Texas, to try to help them grow in their life where they don't have a father that's there with them, and they have single parent mothers. And Steve opens up his farm to these young men to give them a vision of themselves. Go ask them, is he a bad person? You see, my point is, he's not perfect. Neither am I. I spent 13 years and 9 months in the Georgia State prison system, and somebody gave me a chance. And I have been clean. I was on drugs when I went to prison. I came out of the Marine Corps and went to prison. I have been clean from drugs for 30 years. I have been out of prison for 18 years. And part of the program that helped me in my redemption is that God used Steve Harvey and Tyler Perry, 2 Black men, to help me in my life.
So
I would appreciate. I want to
ask you a question.
I would appreciate this. Here's the thing. I would appreciate if you're going to say something bad about Steve, be fair and talk about the things that he's done positive for people.
Okay, this is a question I want to ask you. With all that being said, and one, thank you for being a part of this.
Yeah, man.
Do you think that you have a biased opinion due to your experience with your own life and then how Steve Harvey helped change it?
No, I wouldn't call my opinion biased. I would call my opinion fair because it's balanced. You cannot include all, if you're going to mention the bad that he has done, we can't change that. And he can't change it. Because again, you have to go into the time frame that he was in as a person. Fame happened to Steve in a very fast manner. You got to keep in mind that he was even homeless at one point, living out his car. That stuff that he's talking about is real. So when a lot of money, a lot of privilege, and a lot of wealth came his way, it also brought a lot of women. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, bro. You ain't never been in that position to have to say no to some absolutely beautiful women.
Whoa. I'm presently on tour where I have to say no to absolutely beautiful women on a normal basis. I did that.
How old? Let me ask you a question. How old are you?
Hold on. I had to say no to absolutely beautiful woman on tour 3 weeks ago. I had to say no to some absolutely beautiful woman 3 weeks prior to that 3 weeks ago. I'm gonna have to say no to some absolutely beautiful woman on May 20th when we have our Atlanta show. So I say no to absolutely beautiful women on tour in front of thousands of people on a normal basis.
Okay, let me ask you a question. All right, you say no to beautiful women, thousands. Who do you tour with?
Tonight's conversation is a podcast called Tonight's Conversation.
Tonight's Conversation.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. When you go out into the street, when you go out, we're being fair. When you go to the mall, to the grocery store, do you do all this? Do you go to the grocery store, to the mall, whatnot?
Yeah, and I'm recognized.
How many people stop you?
Wait.
Want to take pictures with you?
Listen, sir. I'm trying to answer your question, but you are biased. You don't want to say you're biased, but you're trying to compare me to Steve Harvey, and that's not fair.
No.
So listen.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
Listen. So the answer to your question is yes. I was at the mall yesterday, and I was recognized. And somebody want to take a picture with me. So yes, I was at Leonard's Mall yesterday.
Okay.
So,
okay. I get you.
Whoa. Let's have a conversation. So I asked you earlier, do you think you're biased? You're biased. So I look at myself.
Can I answer your question? You asked me if I was biased, and I'm telling you, I'm not biased.
Sir. I asked you if you biased. You said you were not. In my opinion, you are. But that's not a bad thing. Let's just have a conversation. So I don't know how long you've been watching, because I just turned TikTok on a minute ago. So I literally talked about how I was also divorced. I left my family just like he did. And the main thing that you can tell from a man that tells you what type of man he is, because you got a man and then you got his character, is what you do after you have your transgression. You were not on here when you seen that. I mean, when I said that. And what I said is, he said in this video, because I got a video up on YouTube right now. And hold on, I'm going to play it right now. Hopefully you can be able to hear it. So hold on 1 second. We'll keep going, because these are Steve Harvey's words.
We've had this conversation. He had to understand what my decision that I made at 25. Come on, man. Come on, 25? I got twins at 25. I'm making decisions.
What else?
So that right there was Steve Harvey's actual words. And with that tonality, you can easily understand what he was saying. He was dismissing the fact that he had twins and a son at the age of 25. And the first thing he says, 25? I was 25. Come on, man. And then on Club Shay Shay, hey, you have something in the background. Can you turn it down?
I don't have anything in the background.
Oh, you don't? Okay, cool. So he was just on Club Shay Shay, And he literally said, these young dudes of this generation, which is the 25-year-olds now, are looking at women like, what do you bring to the table? But in my opinion, if he would have looked at his wife when he was 25 and looked at her and said, what does she bring to the table? He would have had 3 children at 25. Come on, man, 25. See, I don't like it when a man dismisses his transgressions. Just like you said, you went to prison, but you ain't turn around and say, yo, man, I just went to prison one time. It was just one time. No, you stood on your shit. You said you went to prison, but you didn't dismiss it like, it was nothing. No, it was something. You made some mistakes. And the thing about it is, as a man, you got to stand on your shit. You don't turn around and dismiss your transgressions and start, man, 25. What are you talking about? No, that's what women do.
Can I respond?
One more thing. Women have a famous saying that almost all of them say. And that is, I was young and dumb. And it's the stupidest shit that a woman can ever say. But Steve Harvey turns around and says the same shit with 3 goddamn children, and he leaves his family for the stardom, for the women, like you say, and his son right here.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
I got twins at 25.
Do you know that it's our job to take care of?
So his son, because you said you met his son. His son says, I didn't know my dad fully until I was 16.
And that was Steve Jr.
So with all that being said, I'm looking at this whole thing objectively as a divorced father of 2 grown daughters myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, now can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, and let's have full disclosure. How old are you, brother?
46.
Okay, I'm 55. How's your kids?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s. When you got your kids, when you mid-20s years ago, when you got your kids, are you of the same maturity that you are now?
Actually, yes.
No, you're not.
You're
saying that.
Wait, you gonna tell me? No, wait.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
No, you can't tell me why.
See,
about
you're
me,
trying to say faithful,
sir. This is my show. I need you.
You just gave me your opinion about me by saying that I wasn't biased.
I need you to slow down for a second. I can have an opinion of you being biased or not because we're talking about another person. But now we're talking about me as an individual. So you can't have an opinion of who I was when I was 25 because you weren't around when I was 25, but I was. I can have an opinion about you. Stop. I can have an opinion about your words about a person. So these are totally different conversations, but go ahead.
Okay. Let me correct you. Let me correct the record. This is called checkmate in an argument, a factual argument. You didn't tell me about Steve Harvey. I told you about what my direct experience of with Steve Harvey, and you said of me, you are biased. I'm not biased. You can't. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I'll let you finish. Let me finish.
Steve Harvey, which makes it biased. What are you talking about? You just explained what
direct experience don't. Direct experience don't make you biased. Direct experience makes you. Let me finish. Direct experience make you fair. That means you can look at both sides of a situation and you have a better knowledge from direct experience. It don't make you biased. So, but your opinion is on me, whom you've never met, and you've never seen my experience with him. You're going to call me biased. Now, in the same vein, brother, all I'm saying to you is, based on direct experience, when 22 years ago, most brothers your age, my age too, when I was in my 20s, I was not as mature in my thinking and in my living as I am now as a 55-year-old man. So I can hear you when you say, oh, you can't tell me about me. You're right. I can't not tell you about you. But I can tell you that most of us, I've been a black man for a long time. I've been a black man for a long time. I can tell you, when I was in my 20s, I was not as mature as I am in my thinking now as a 55-year-old man. My perspective on life was totally different. I said that to say this. When Steve got his kids as a 25-year-old man, that wasn't a conversation. See, you got a sound bite and you working off of a sound bite or a brief interview. I'm talking about me having direct experience with Steve, I don't want to give his whole name, but Steve Harvey Sr. and Jr. I've had conversations with Steve Jr., got his phone number right now. I could call him. I've had conversations with Witten. I got his phone number right now. I could call him. I've had conversation with the twin girls. Don't have their phone number. I was with them on a consistent basis. And I'm not going to go into everything that they've spoken to me about, but they talked to me about life coming up because they was trying to draw a relation with my life coming up without my dad in my life. We've had those conversations, brother. I'm only telling you. Now, if you insist upon demonizing Steve, brother, go ahead, go right on ahead. But I'm only saying to you, based on my direct knowledge, experience, conversations, and time with Broderick Steve Harvey Sr., you're wrong.
Okay, so
I'm just telling you, you're wrong.
Okay, look, the first thing men don't do is try to compete with each other in points. I don't give a damn about being right or wrong, sir. So you can sit around and saying, oh, this is why I got checkmate. Checkmate? What the hell is this? This is a conversation. So this is one of the problems that we have as black people. We want to win arguments. We want to win debates. Sir, this is not a debate. I'm just having a conversation with a person on my show, and I appreciate you being on here. But all this,
right.
Let me show you something. This is checkmate. You wrong.
My conversation.
Whoa. Hold on.
Don't divert from what I'm saying. You diverting.
Sir, calm down for a second. This is not checkmate. You are not right, and I am not wrong. All right. We are two individuals having a conversation. That is it. That is it. You have a different way of looking at Steve as I do.
Right.
And
you basing yours on feelings.
I'm not done. And I'm fair at my assessment of what I see of Steve, what has come out of Steve's mouth, what has come out of Steve's kid's mouth. My assumption, assumptions. You have assumptions also because, you was just around them. And that's fair to have because that's what life is about. We don't know exactly about everything. Shit, I'm still learning about my damn kids. And I've been around my kids, been in my kids' lives. But every day I'm learning more and more about my kids. But guess what? I'm learning more and more about myself also. So when it comes to you saying checkmate and I'm wrong, you're out of line, sir. Because I can I'm not done.
I'm talking about facts versus your feelings.
Sir, I'm not done. I can have whatever opinion that I want to have about any damn body. And I don't need nobody turn around telling me I'm wrong for nothing. No, you're wrong for telling me I'm wrong. So how about you respect my opinion like I respect your opinion? Because that's all we men can do. Respect each other's opinion. Because I don't believe in arguing. I don't argue with women. And I damn sure ain't gonna argue with no man.
All right, let me respond to that real quick. When you're giving an opinion about someone, you should only try to give opinions based on facts and not feelings. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Opinion. It's an opinion.
Can you let me finish? Brother, can you give me the same respect that I give you?
You just said something stupid.
Can you give me the same, regardless if you agree or disagree with me, can you give me the same respect that I'm giving you?
Go ahead.
When you speak about someone and you don't have any direct experience with somebody, then you're talking about an opinion. And if your opinion does not include any direct experience or direct knowledge of a person, then you're speaking out of your feelings. I'm only saying that my opinion is based not on feelings, what I see in clips and whatnot. I'm talking about 3 years of direct knowledge. 3 years of direct knowledge. 3 years of direct knowledge, communication. Okay? And I'm only saying to you that your opinion that you have developed without any facts concerning Steve Harvey is wrong. Am I saying that he's perfect? No, bro, that's not what I'm saying. But to demonize this dude that has done everything that a man should do to redeem himself with his family first, well, actually with God and his family, bro, come on, man. You know, people that live in glass houses can't throw stones.
All right, so let me say this. Your biased opinion is respected, okay? Because you've been around a man, and that's why I thanked you twice for coming up here, because it's nice to have a biased opinion on Steve Harvey. There's nothing wrong with a biased opinion, but it's a biased opinion. So with that being said, this is a great conversation. But for some reason, you keep saying I'm demonizing him. You were not here for the whole live stream, so you don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, how am I demonizing him? By talking about what a man does and what a man did, and is this man or any other man good for our community?
Okay, can you ask the question?
Hold on, I'm not done. And black women in particular. So, in my opinion, from a TV show standpoint, because you gotta understand, this man has been on TV for 20 years. You don't think we hear what he says on a normal damn basis? You don't think we should have an opinion about somebody that has been talking to us, talking to our community for the last 20 years? So the bottom line is, I and everybody else have the right to have a damn opinion about anybody, especially if they've been in front of us for 20 years. So you can say what you know and all this other stuff all you want to, but I have the right to my damn opinion. And it's not fact, because an opinion is an opinion. So for you to turn around and say you can't base an opinion off a fact or a fact off that shit is stupid. And
I didn't say that.
Hold on.
See, I said you can't base an opinion off a feeling.
Whoa. I can base whatever I want off of anything. Okay? And I don't have feelings. I'm not dating Steve Harvey. Okay? So I don't have feelings for no damn man. Okay? He ain't my daddy, he ain't my uncle, he ain't my cousin. So I'm not basing anything off of feelings. I don't know this damn man, but guess who does know him? You. So if anybody was basing their opinion off of Steve Harvey through their feelings, it will be you, sir. Because I don't
absolutely know. Wrong. Can I respond to that?
Can you stop saying the word wrong? Because it doesn't matter. Who cares? Can we just have a conversation?
No, I do, because a mature person, this is called maturity. A mature person does not spit out wrong information. That's not what a mature person does.
This is sad.
A mature person, let me finish. A mature person balances the facts, and they speak according to facts, that which is factual. And if you don't,
hold on, mute yourself out, sir. Not you. Hold on, let me mute this person. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Okay. This is what I am saying. Responsibility in disseminating information is that you have to disseminate information to public people. When you're speaking in terms of the public, it's your responsibility to be as factual as possible. It don't matter who is about. It's not responsible communications to a public for you to disseminate information based simply on your feelings. That is very immature and is absolutely wrong. And you should be you wouldn't want nobody to do it to you.
Okay, sir.
You wouldn't want nobody to do it to the people that you love.
Let's go to another person on the panel, because you're just going to keep spitting out the same bullshit. And you're
no, I'm speaking that truth, and you don't like it.
Hold on. You're welcome to be on here, and I want you to be a part of the conversation. But you just keep saying the same shit over and over again because, like I said,
the truth bears repeating.
Sir, I don't know the man. I don't know you. All I can do is go off of what I've seen and what has come out of his own mouth. What that is, I don't give a damn what you call it, but that is what it is. So, Miss Kim, what is your thoughts?
Now, my thoughts are, at what point do we get forgiveness and do-overs? Yes, Steve Harvey has had multiple wives in his past. It took this one woman, I believe, my opinion, to come in and change him for the better. He's elevated since he's been with her. This is just me looking from the inside out. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm definitely entitled to mine. I think that Marjorie has actually made him a better person. I love a lot of stuff that he points out to the men within our community because the men lack so much nowadays and they don't care about what they're doing or who they're doing it to. So not to discredit you, not to discredit Danny, but do-overs, forgiveness. Let's just start this again and just see where he's fallen off in these past, let's just say 5 years. Where has he really fallen off to make us question him as a community?
They can't hear her.
Okay. They're saying they can't hear you, which is strange. Y'all are on the same thing. Let's see. YouTube, can you hear the young lady? YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear her. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear her, because TikTok is saying they can't hear her. That's crazy. Y'all on the same thing.
Right.
If anybody couldn't hear you, it would be YouTube. That's kind of weird, because I don't know what to do about that.
Because I'm not muted, obviously.
Yeah, you're good. And yeah, YouTube can hear. So I don't know what is going on with TikTok. Y'all on the same platform, and one person can be heard and the other person can't. So I don't know what that means. But to answer your question is this is not about this is just my objective opinion. I had a lot of people. He recently went on Club Shay Shay, which is Shannon Sharpe's new show, and he did a 2-hour interview and he talked about some things. And a lot of people were asking me what are my thoughts on the show and my thoughts on Steve Harvey. So I decided to do a show about Steve Harvey simply because he brought attention to himself by going on the show. And this is what the world happens. This is what the world does. You say something, it goes viral, and people talk about it. You feel me? So I didn't come out of nowhere like, ooh, I'm going to find Steve Harvey and demonize him. No, I'm simply.
This is why I'm not attacking you. People have to listen. Even Danny, he has to listen.
Yeah, I'm just simply having a conversation about my opinion of Steve Harvey as a person. So my whole thing, because a lot of people are like, all right, do you think Steve Harvey is helpful? And I literally have said there's a lot of things that we can learn from Steve Harvey on what to do. There's a lot of things we can learn from Steve Harvey about what not to do. But when it comes to a 50-year-old man finally getting it right, you got to think about how many lives he actually hurt within his at least 30 years of being an adult, right? And when he was 25, he had 3 kids, and one of his kids himself said, I haven't met, I didn't fully know my dad for the first 16 years of my life. That's a problem to me because I'm a father. I have grown daughters. So I'm just looking at this from a fatherhood standpoint, not he got divorced. I got divorced.
Right.
Kevin Samuels got divorced. I think you can learn more from a person that got divorced than a person who is still married. Because, and I literally said, the fact that I got divorced and did not get remarried versus Steve Harvey getting divorced, and getting married and still is married makes Steve Harvey better than me when it comes to life experiences. Because he can see things from being married, he can see things from being divorced, he can see things from getting remarried, and he can see things getting married in 2023. So he has a vast amount of knowledge because of that. But when it comes to the parenting side, I'm a parent.
He fell off. He left.
He left. And I'm talking about him as a man, not a husband. I'm looking at him as a father. Like, bro, what have you done to your children? Because your own kid and the two daughters that were twins, he had twins and then he had a son. Those three people in particular have been going through it differently than the rest of his kids. And that needs to be acknowledged. And I'm not demonizing him or calling him a bad person or nothing, but we are in a position where we can learn from this. So I just simply pulled everything apart and made everybody aware of what and who and how Steve Harvey has been operating the last 30 years and let everybody else make their own opinion. But all of this I'm saying is simply objective. And I said, if you have children, and if you left, because I left my marriage, but I never left my children. He, according to his son, left his children and not just his marriage.
He did, and he's wrong for that. And then I guess my issue with him was, however you want to put it, you abandoned your own children. But then again, when you got married, you welcomed her children as they were your own. Like these kids got handed the silver spoon from day one. And your children had to fight for a position back in your life. As a dad, you definitely did not do your part.
That's all
until they were adults and they were able to address you how they wanted to address you.
When he earned the amount of respect, and that is a problem. Hold on, sir. I followed my kids because my man asked me, am I as mature at 25 as I am now? And my answer is yes. Now, am I smarter now? Am I wiser now? Yes. But I was as mature as I am now at the age of 25.
Let me correct the record. The sister Kimberly said some things that those who might mean well, but here's the factual thing.
Oh Lord, that means you wrong too, Kim.
Because it came from his children, his first set of kids' mouths.
Right, I got you. But this is something that they didn't tell you that I know about, and I think most people who were divorced know about also. When Steve was divorced from the two wives, they both had parental custody. They had been given custody. And I'm gonna tell you that I know this. They made the choice to prevent Steve from having direct contact with the kids, even visitation. According to the facts, they restricted his visitation because he did not have custody and control of his kids. The wives did. It wasn't shared. Whether you go to court and you get shared, no, they got custody because they said that Steve's life was too unstable and that they proved that he was, I guess, it's a term that's not quite called unfit, but that he wasn't a stable parent. So they got direct custody. And when they became of age to make a decision to get to know Steve, which I think is around 16 or 17, they chose to allow him to have a relationship with them. And what I'm talking to you about is what I have seen, not what I've read in an article or heard on an interview, what I have directly seen. I have seen Stevie Jr. with his dad. And I'm telling you, they have a great relationship. And I think I think somebody said it in the chat. Sometimes God gives us mercy for a do-over. And mercy is not given because you're so good. Mercy is given because you need mercy. You're guilty. And so he even made some bad decisions to end up divorced. I think he married too soon because he wasn't mature enough to handle the pain that came along with it. But I can say from my experience that he's a good brother away from the limelight, sitting down, having just men talking to men. The dude is really solid. He determined that he was not going to let his kids be without him. And all you can do is look at the results. Look at the results. He is in his kids' lives, and he is a direct contributor to his kids' lives, and he uses his platform to benefit his kids, his biological kids, and his kids by marriage. So now what they do with it is on them. but he has, not only does he benefit his own kids with his platform, but he benefits other single mothers and their kids with his platform. So is that me being biased? No. What that is me being balanced. That's me being balanced. Yes, sir.
But that's the actual problem, man. Like, everybody gets Steve Harvey except for his own damn kids. You literally just said that. And that is the problem. That is the problem. The world gets, hold on. The world gets, can I finish, sir? The world gets Steve Harvey. These other single mothers get Steve Harvey. Damn, Marjorie Harvey, her kids. Damn, he loves. We all know how much he's best friends with Lori Harvey. Everybody gets Steve Harvey except for his biological damn kids.
Dang, that's lies. That's not true. I guarantee you his twin daughters thinks he's the greatest man on the face of the planet. I ain't talking about what I heard from you. I'm talking about what I heard from them in private conversation. I'm telling you, I used to be with them. They ain't got nothing to gain by telling me this shit. They was telling me from their heart. I'm talking about before one of them got married and got a kid. I'm telling you what they tell me.
All right, so listen to this real quick. Years later, they said to me, Dad, we didn't understand why you left us, but we know now that you had to go. Keyword, had to go. You didn't just belong to us. You belong to the world. That is what his kids said to him. I'll say it again if you want me to repeat it. That was no, that's reasonable. His kids. So hold on, sir. My point is, as a father, there's no way in hell, and he made some mistakes, and it's okay. All we're doing is speaking objectively on a man's life. And the man's life is somebody who has put their lives in front of us. So it's fair for us to speak on it. Y'all can have a conversation about my damn life. I ain't got no problem with that. Because at the end of the day, when you put yourself out there as a public figure, you put yourself out there for all the scrutiny that comes along with being a public figure. So y'all can do the same shit on YouTube tomorrow about me, and I'll be totally okay with it. I'll sit back and drop super chats and like the damn video, because you know why? I'm a public figure. So any public figure is supposed to get scrutiny. You know why? Because we got to make sure these damn people are not dysfunctional and ruining our people as public figures.
All right. Let me respond, and I got to go. Let me respond, I have to go. And I'm only speaking now for my life, okay? I know what mercy feels like because I needed it, okay? I almost unlived somebody. Before I got on stage with Tyler Perry, and before I toured with Tyler, and before I toured with Steve Harvey, you know, I was just a regular person, and I made bad decisions because my daddy died, and I never had a chance to spend time with him right there in Brunswick, Georgia. And I made very hurtful decisions, self-destructive decisions. And I made a bad decision to get on drugs, to try to get away from my pain, because I loved my daddy more than any man on the face of the planet. And so I never got a chance to live under his roof, eat his food. I never even heard him say my full name, Danny Clay. He called me Deke. And so I turned my hurt inward. It culminated in me committing violent crime, committed an armed robbery and aggravated assault, and I almost unlived a white man. And the only reason I didn't kill him, because I shot him, the only reason I didn't kill him is because he just didn't die. So when you're in a position, now what am I saying that for? When you are in a position that you understand your perspective on life and the perspective of this thing called mercy, when you understand that, it gives you a different worldview. I got a second chance at life. As I said, this year makes 18 years that I have been out of prison. I have a passport, my man, and I have toured all over the United States and the world with this passport to do shows and to You know, the Bible speaks about God to give you houses that you didn't build and vineyards that you didn't plant. Well, I'm singing songs that I didn't even originally record, but I have been given favor and mercy in that respect. So when I was talking with Steve, brother, I'm not biased. If you can believe one thing in parting, please know I'm not biased. I'm balanced. I looked at what Steve told me about himself, that he was a mess when he first got discovered, because he didn't know how to handle all these women coming at him and all this prestige and fame that was coming at him. Look, it came at me too, bro. When I first started touring with Steve, you gotta understand, I had been incarcerated for a total of 13 years and 9 months. And when I became somewhat, I guess the word is famous, people identified me when they saw me. Hey, that's the guy that's touring Steve Harvey. The women came at me, bro. And I can't say that I refused all of them. Let's just be real clear about it. When I was touring with Tyler, I can't say that I refused all of them. I had some social growing up to do. I had some, even though I was mature in the sense that I knew right and from wrong, I had some social growing up to do.
I can understand
and when you get to that point, that you understand that you have social growing up to do because of the pressure that's coming at you. Everybody can't understand that because they've never been in those shoes.
But look, Danny, because there's other people on here. I just want to say this. Not everybody has to go through the social growing up. I didn't have to go through the social growing up. All right. And this ain't no indictment on no other man, but I had women when I was young. The way I got my ex-wife is because me and my homeboys was drug dealers. So we had women back then. All of us had a bad chick. And guess what? We all married our bad chicks. And we all went and got houses out in the suburbs all at the same time. Different sides of the city. At the age of 22 or 19, or I don't even know the hell age I was. We were children. Had bad chicks. And we did right by bad chicks. So we've been had women. So when I'm out here in this world doing what I'm doing and doing shows or whatever, I'm used to women coming up to me and wanting to holler at me and wanting to give me their phone numbers or whatever.
But
so not all of us. Hold on. Hold on. But so not all of us need this social whatever it is that you're saying.
You're comparing yourself. And that's not a good comparison.
You just compared yourself. You just said,
no, I didn't.
Sir, I don't know who you are.
All I did is say, I understand mercy.
Sir, calm down for a second. All I'm saying is, we all have had our issues and our transgressions, but my point is, not all of them are the same. Because like I said before, because I'm going to say this a third time, I am as mature as I was at the age of 25. Because a lot of the things I was doing now is somewhat the things I was doing then as a kid, but just on a bigger scope. I had women coming at me then. I was just a drug dealer. I wasn't on social media. Because what? There was no social media. So I was the social media of my hood, of my neighborhood. You feel me? Because back then, drug dealers was social media. People watched the drug dealers. People watched the dudes in the nice ass cars with the candy paint and the rims. That was me. And the little gold chains. That was me at age of 19. You feel me? So I was social media before there was social media. So I had the attention from women way back then. So now when I get the attention from women now, it's nothing to me because I always had the attention from women. So that's all I'm saying. So not everybody has the same things, but let's hear from
no, I'm finna go. Thank you for the conversation.
Okay, no problem, brother.
Well, I'm Fee Black Jill.
Hey.
Better way to play it. To say it, excuse me. When I entered the conversation, you were talking about 50-year-old men, and you were kind of maybe, and again, I could be wrong, comparing what we saw in Kevin Samuels and what you see in Steve Harvey. And the thing is, even to what Danny was referring to, you know, regardless of what they were in the past, where they are right now or where Kevin Samuel was when he passed away. Now, I work in long-term care
in long-term care with people that are on disability, that are, will need assistance in the community for caregivers, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I'm seeing, or even going to assisted living or nursing homes, one of the things that I'm seeing is a rapid rise in the new prison for Black men, which is assisted living and nursing homes. And that is based on men in our demographics, Generation X, that have been on, whether it's been on blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, are stroking out. And they don't have, because they've tricked off through their 20s and their 30s, and they don't have children, and they don't have, wives or whatever, they are stroking out and don't have caregivers. And now they're a burden on society in that aspect of having to provide caregiving situations. So you see a lot of these men in the 40s and 50s and trying to get with women and trying to get in these relationships now. But also you hear on the flip side, all these passport bros and all this other nonsense that people are talking about, just trying to get a wife. But then they're finding themselves bumped up, or these women are finding themselves in these relationships where they are now with men that they now have to be caregivers for, because these other guys, one, don't have children. Now I'll say this, Kevin Samuels died. He got off easy in essence, because whatever was going on, I'm saying in the aspect of he died because he potentially could have had long-term care effects from whatever happened to him that caused his death, whether it was a stroke or whether from heart attack, because you see it all the time. Who would have been Kevin Samuels' caregiver? Because he didn't have.
Hold on. He would have had plenty of caregivers. And one thing you don't understand, whether right or wrong, if you got money, you got notoriety, you're gonna have caregivers on every finger and every toe. What are you talking about?
That's not true. That what I'm talking about is.
And he also had a girlfriend. Kevin Samuels had a girlfriend.
Yeah, so what are you talking about?
But again, that does not, okay, see, I'm talking from the aspect of being in the long-term care. People, just because you got money don't mean you have adequate care. Just because you actually have family or girlfriend.
Just because you got a wife don't mean you got adequate care. What are you talking about?
Hold on. A girlfriend is less likely to stay with somebody that is left side that is paralyzed on the left side.
I don't understand what your point is.
But if we look flip side, let's look at if Steve Harvey found himself in a position where he needed a caregiver, he has a plethora of people in family, as family, not girlfriends. And the one daughter that Kevin Samuel has.
Okay.
He tricked off. He did whatever he wanted to do.
I want you to think about this.
I don't have to think about nothing because
you do have to think about something because you're on my damn panel. I need you to stop for a second and listen. So, do you know that Steve Harvey's first wife was in? This is Steve Harvey's words. Was in cahoots with his financial advisor or tax person, and they robbed him of $30 million. So, and then do you also know that, and you can look this up, you can Google it. You can look it up yourself. If Steve Harvey did not agree to pardon her kid's father from getting out of prison with Obama, through Obama, she was about to take his ass for $400 million.
What's that got to do with what I'm talking about?
Because what you're talking about don't make no sense. But what you're talking about is having a caregiver. His caregivers were about to take his ass for everything he had. One caregiver did take his ass for everything he had. And according to what he said on Club Shay Shay 1 week ago, not 10 years ago, 1 week ago, she left him with $1,700 to his name. So if he would have been single, instead of having that wife, don't you think he would have had even more money than he does now? So with all that being said, women can be your problem or women can be your solution. But just because a man is married, don't mean he has a solution. And just because a man is single, don't mean he got a problem. Your wife can turn around and tear your goddamn life up. Look at what Tyrese, 2 ex-wives did to him. See, some of these women turn around and divorce your ass when you go to the hospital and take all your shit, and you can't go to court and fight for none of it because your ass done had a stroke. So you got to take this in account. We don't turn around and need to just marry a woman in order to survive. We need to marry the right woman in order to survive. And it ain't got nothing to do with no damn caregiving. And it ain't got nothing to do with no timing. We settle down with women when we want to settle down with women, whether it's 20, 30, 40, or 50. But all this other shit you talk about ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Okay, it does have to do everything. And my point, just because you said it does, it does. It does. The thing is, are you married right now?
What that got to do anything? Are you married right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So are you married right now?
What that got to do anything?
I'm asking in regards, let's say you have a stroke or something happens to you. Who are you taking care of? Who's going to be taking care of you? As you,
I have a bunch of people that would take care of me.
As you were drug dealing throughout your life.
What that got to do? You keep just saying random stuff. What are you talking about? Drug dealing? What?
You know what? You're a gaslighter. That's what I see. That
drug dealing have to do with anything? You think I still do it now? What are you talking about?
What I see with you and your conversation, even with Danny, you steer a conversation to fit your narrative and don't even address the
This is my show, ma'am.
But again, you still gaslighting.
No, this is my show. When I have a show, I'm talking about a subject, which is that show has a narrative. What are you talking about?
You are still just you.
Ma'am, what is your point? What is your point? Keep going. What's your point? Go. I'm listening. Stop asking me questions. What's your point?
I've already asked it. I'm done.
All right. Bye.
Yellow. So basically, I want to say I totally agree with what you're saying. You have a lot of valid points. Because like you just said, somebody would be there to take care of you. They don't like to hear the simpleness in something. Like that's just point blank period. Simple as that. Yeah. You would have somebody. Just like if Steve Harvey wasn't married, he would have some money and not been left with just that little bit. It's just that point in blank. I just wanted to say that much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The women kind of dig the ditches for themselves.
Yes.
Because they go too far into it.
Yes.
Sometimes it's right at the surface. Sometimes it literally is right at the surface. Like whether it's my sister that is helping me or my cousin, I would have somebody to help me. Period.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, it's gonna be somebody. It's just not gonna be you.
That's all I'm saying. Because my whole point is just because I'm not married don't mean I got 2 grown kids. One of my grown kids is married. You feel me?
Exactly.
So not saying I would want my grown kids to take care of me, but my kids are grown. So that's one thing. I have women in my life. I have family in my life. So I have a bunch of people that one, I can easily be like, hey, I need you to do this. And they would love to be there for me. Why? Because I've been there for them for their whole goddamn lives. So the thing about it is, see, these women want men to be miserable with them. See, these women are
they think everything should fit what they think.
Yeah, they want all of us to just go be with their old fat asses and just be miserable with them. And when we turn around and reject them, they get mad at people like me and look at me as the person that rejected them.
Yes, when truthfully, you might have honestly told them that you didn't want them, and they just did not take it the first time you told them that you did not want them.
Yes. Yeah. So they just miserable because they want somebody to marry them, and they're a little upset that I, as a man, and you as a man, or whoever as a man, we have the ability to marry a woman whenever we feel like it, and they hate it.
Exactly. Yes. Because they think it's supposed to be all these emotions and things like that.
Yeah.
No. Sometimes the men know what they want to do when they want to do it. Mm-hmm. Might not be at the moment that you think they should be ready, but at the time that they're ready, they're going to let you know they're ready.
Right.
Yeah. That's the man for you. Women try to control the men. It does not work like that. No. Women, no matter how far we go, you will not be leaders in control. Facts. It will not happen.
All facts. All facts.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much for pulling up. I
Appreciate you as well.
All right. So that was a great a few conversations right there. That was dope. That was dope. So let's do this, YouTube. I got more of this Steve Harvey video to go through, but I need 10 contributors in the next 10 minutes, or I'll just go ahead and move on with my day. So I'll say it again. I need 10 contributors, YouTube. 10 contributors in the next 10 minutes. 10 contributors in the next 10 minutes, and we can go on with this show. Or we can just end it now and I'll move on. So we need 10 contributors. YouTube, either via Cash App, Aaron 1000, or via Super Chat, or just hit the link at the top and buy my card game. So I need either 10 people buying my card game, I need 10 people hitting the Cash App, or 10 people dropping a Super Chat. I would say just buy 10 of my card games, or 10 people buy my card games, and we can call it even. You'll get some shipped in the mail, and then you know what I'm saying, we can go from there. But I need 10 people either buy my card game that's linked in the chat at the top, Cash Apps or Super Chats or any variation of the three. Let's go. You got 10 minutes. Let's keep going on with the show. And when 10 minutes goes away, I'm just going to go away if I don't get the 10 contributors. So let's go. Buy my card game, buy my card game, buy my card game. You'll get something out of it instead of simply a contribution. Hold on. What is this thing doing? Oh, here we go.
You got peace at the crib, dog. You can plug in your battery pack and get rejuvenated. Go out. He will either inspire you to greatness or reduce you to mediocrity.
Okay.
But this system of marriage is still good.
Okay.
This system of a man taking care of a woman, that's really how it's supposed to be. All the rest of it's bullshit, man. And y'all need to quit tricking yourself with this new way of thinking. Because this new way of thinking ain't getting y'all no damn where.
See, right here, I agree with him. I totally agree with Steve Harvey right here. I agree with him. So simple. I am not here to just talk crap about Steve Harvey. I'm here to look at everything he said as from an objective eye and make an assessment. And that is simply it. I got you, sir. Oh, Roosevelt. I appreciate that. Hold on one second. Got some more people coming up. But yeah, October 3074. Thank you. Hold on, let me see. Hey, y'all got, can y'all hear me? Y'all there? TikTok.
Yes, can you hear me?
You're a little low, but go ahead. You're very low.
I said I was not trying to get up here, but I'm here. We can talk.
Oh,
I like the conversation. Oh, I know what it is. My headset.
Yeah, something's wrong with your.
I said, yeah, we can talk.
Okay.
I love the conversation.
Okay. I can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay.
So what are your thoughts so far?
I don't know what the issue is. What's the issue? How can he be hurting us? You say he's hurting females or males?
Hurting women, because to a certain degree, I'm looking at this from an objective standpoint. So I'm not just saying he's totally hurting people or whatever. He's not committing crimes or anything like that. But he's pushing women to be in this delusional mindset that they don't have to do anything. They can just show up and they could be dysfunctional, and a man's supposed to deal with it. A man's supposed to come in, just take care of your kids and marry you, and and there's no credence or any context to all this. It's just straight pandering, and I think it's dysfunctional to simply be on a platform just pandering to women, because we are the ones who got to deal with these damn women that he's pandering to. And the first thing she's going to say is, well, Steve Harvey said this and Steve Harvey said that. And now we got to deal with this crap. Does that make sense?
No, at all. I don't see where he's doing that because
he's been doing it for 30 years.
Well, everybody's dysfunctional. Well, he has a love for women and he knows how to treat a woman, right? So he understands his role as a man. He doesn't mind providing.
Wait, you're back low.
For him.
You're back low. You made a change and it went loud and it went back low. Is that how you holding your phone or something?
Maybe it is.
Or headphones?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound better.
Okay. So I'm not saying that. I don't know if I get what you're saying. It's delusional because he married someone that wasn't perfect.
No, he's causing women to be delusional.
Because he married someone that was not perfect and
no, his advice. He gives advice every day. Every day of his life, he gives advice on the Steve Show.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to get up here because my dad gave me that advice long before Steve said it. So I don't think it's a Steve thing. I don't think he's the only man that knew that. He's the only man that's trained their daughters to know that, right?
To know what?
Because nothing's the things that Steve says. Like there's
what?
Nothing.
What do you get from what Steve says?
Well, a lot of times when he talks about understanding who you are and how you should move, like you are the female, what you was created to do, your standards, and how long it takes to get to know a person on whether or not you're going to excel that. And when you do, and we all know that, if you include sex too early, you start to cloud your vision. You'll know that's a bad relationship a long time ago, but you'll stay in something bad because you've involved something else. So it does take time. I don't know if it'll be 90 days. I don't know what it is, right? I don't know many men that have a problem with it. I don't know. I hadn't met them.
Most men have problems with what Steve Harvey says.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know. Because I don't know why. Because I don't know what he said so bad. Nothing's delusional about what he did.
Women are delusional altogether. What are you talking about? Who's laughing?
Well, me. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It's
because I don't know what that means.
Okay. You're a woman, so you don't experience women the way men experience women, so you may not know. It's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But all I'm saying is, and I'm not saying you are, but just be careful not to dismiss another person's experience of women.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying that until you can understand a thing, it may seem delusional, right? Because once you get to where you can understand a woman, anything. When I don't know how to drive a stick shift, it can seem frustrating. I don't understand what to do, how to do it.
We don't want to drive a stick shift, and that's the problem. Women are choosing to be stick shifts instead of automatics, and we don't want them. And they get mad at us for not wanting stick shifts. So imagine if stick shifts could talk, right? And there's a whole bunch of stick shifts instead of automatic cars, right? And we men are driving automatic cars, and these stick shifts cars that can talk. And they're like, why don't these men want stick shifts? They're narcissists. They're misogynistics. They're misogynistic. They're this and that. And next thing you know, we're just like, yo, we just don't want you. If you become this, then we'll want you. So that's kind of like what it is. It's like stick shifts with voices, and all y'all, not you, but all women want to do is sit around and complain about us not wanting overweight women, not wanting women who have emotional issues and not went to therapy, or women who wear wigs all the time. They want us to want them, and all we're doing is choosing other women, and they're running around getting mad at us, complaining about how we don't want them, instead of making the changes that they need to make in order for us to want them. And that's the dysfunctional part.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's Steve Harvey's fault. I think the wigs came from the men, the attention they got from men when they start wearing the wigs, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, they had to do Steve Harvey.
Wait, the Steve Harvey, the wigs in particular did not come from Steve Harvey. That came from your mothers.
No. That came from the attention a man gave her.
No. It came from the mothers. It came from your mothers.
How?
Your mamas.
How?
Women are the ones. The black woman is the biggest enemy to the black woman. That's the first thing. And the reason why is black women, whether it's your mom, aunt, friend, best friend, sister, or whoever, is the one who's going to talk shit about your hair when you was a child. Women talk shit about women's hair, not men. We don't care. We just looking at your ass. You got a little ass, we're going to say something about your little ass, but none of us cared ever about your damn hair. So women talk about women's hair. Women wear all this bullshit in order to compete with other women because they don't want to feel or look like a basic bitch. And these are words that have came out of women's mouths a million times. Not no man on the planet has ever muttered the words basic bitch or basic to another woman. That is what women say to each other. So women are the problem with the reason why women wear all this bullshit, and why most women are overweight, because their moms were overweight and their moms taught them you don't need no man, so eat crap and just sit around and be fat, and some man's going to come and love you. And that is when Steve Harvey comes in, because Steve Harvey jumps right in after their dysfunctional mother told them you can do whatever you want to do and a man is going to love you for you. And Steve Harvey comes in and says, yeah, ladies, because he said this a million times, a man is going to love you for you. You don't have to do nothing. And he said it on this damn show that he was on a week ago, which is dysfunctional. So that's what Steve Harvey does.
Well, but none of the things you said are character things. Nothing you said
all
matters of the heart.
The advice
so when he's talking about,
but he's talking
about matter, but he's talking about the matter of the heart, right? Whatever your standards are.
All I'm saying is he giving bad advice that makes women delusional. That's all I'm saying. But let me go to Shauna.
Yeah, go to Shauna. Go to Shauna, because
my name is Kana.
Oh, hey, Kana. I ain't recognize you.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I have another. This is my backup account. Make sure you follow it if you can.
Okay.
But anyway, just to comment earlier, I want to go back just a little bit. I'll come back where you are. When a lady was talking about men that are in nursing homes, that's actually incorrect. If you go do research, there are more women in nursing homes than there are men. So we'll just set it that right there. The statistics for LTC, long term. I'm a broker for LTC and broker field and insurance, and there's definitely more women in nursing homes than there are men. So I don't know where she got that information, but I did want to just correct that on your platform too. As far as Steve Harvey goes, the kind of advice that Steve Harvey gave, my own father didn't give me no advice like that. Okay.
Thank you.
My father's not a simp, so I don't have simp daddy advice. But anyway, I would say this: I do agree that he did give information to women that does have them delusional, even more delusional than not. And I feel like if it benefits women, MrLetGo, we are always we have the propensity to gravitate to that more so than anything. That's why you see more women becoming masculine, because they celebrate being a boss, being independent, being strong, being masculine more so that they would like to be in their soft skills, which is the femininity, part of a woman. And so since that's not being celebrated, what's being celebrated is to be the kind of masculine type of woman. So he does not promote femininity. He does not promote the fact that, hey, there are some men out there that will want you, and there are going to be some that won't. And that's why they didn't like Kevin Samuels or people like you, because you're being too realistic, because they're not benefiting. Okay, in order to be with MrLetGo, yeah, you're going to have to be feminine, fit, and friendly. You're going to have to have, lose some weight. You're going to have to look like something. You might not can't wear no weed, however you like it. But what I'm saying is they don't want to make the necessary changes. It's just like the passport bros. It's like they're like, oh, well, just go ahead and leave then. Okay, but we can't talk. We can't figure it out. We can't have a conversation. Like, what is the problem? Is there anything that we could do? Because the problem is, MrLetGo, is they want y'all to do something before we do something. And it don't work like that.
Right.
And see, they always talk about, oh, hey, king, hey, king, hey, king. Well, if you know anything about a king, when you come into the presence of a king, you got to do something. You got to give something. You have to give a sacrifice. They should know this. They all in church. They read the Bible, I think. And if they know that about a king, if God is their king, you can't come to church without bringing no offering. I ain't talking about the pastor. I'm talking about the God that you say you call a king. So if you know anything about being a king, when you come into the presence of kings, you must do something. So why is it that you are asking men to do something before you do? It don't work like that.
Yep.
You need to be investing in yourself. And then when you meet a man, you invest in that man. When I say invest, I mean offer what you have. Bring your respect.
That's a fact.
Bring your loyalty.
That's a fact.
Bring your appreciation. Bring your being able to adapt. Bring your admiration. Bring something to the table that he cannot buy.
Facts. Hold on one second.
For sale.
Hold on 1 second. All right, we got 4 contributors. We need 6 more contributors. Since the conversation is getting good, I'll give y'all 10 more minutes. We need 6 more contributors on YouTube. All you got to do is go buy my card game. That's all you got to do. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, or whether it's YouTube. We need 6 more people. All you got to do is go to the link in my bio on Instagram, link on my bio in TikTok, or go to the link in the chat on YouTube in the chat and just buy my card game. We need 6 more contributors. Go buy my card game. You'll get some back. So it's not just paying some money. You'll get a dope card game. But in the next 10 minutes, I am out if I do not get the next 6 contributors. Let's go. But go ahead. But yeah, that's super dope. Shana.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. And see, I have a whole thing going with some women. I have a whole group. And so what I'm telling them is we need to learn how to be total women. And see, women need to understand that their femininity is their power. And they don't know how to use it. So he doesn't teach that. He's teaching that it's okay to act like a man. What do he say? Think like a man. However that thing, though. You know what it is. Yeah. No, we can't think like men because we're not men.
Right.
That's how come we are what we are right now. You know why we in the confusion that we are right now?
There,
first of
thinking
all,
like a man and acting like exactly. That's what it was.
God didn't make you a man. That's not your makeup. Your makeup, and that's the problem. MrLetGo. He doesn't talk about us being in the natural order of women. We don't know how to operate in the natural order of who we are. We have lost the true essence of what a woman is. We don't really have the assignment on that. That's how come you're not meeting wives today. You're meeting girlfriends and homegirls and jump offs and friends with benefit type women. You're not meeting no wives, because the reason why you're not meeting no wives is because nobody is training any women up anymore to be wives.
Right. Facts. That is a fact.
So he's not
think
teaching
like a
that.
man, act like a woman crap. He started this mess.
He started it, and it's making it even worse. It's making it worse. And so we have to pick up the pieces, you know, and get as many women. I mean, I have virgins in my group. You know what I mean? That's looking. I want to be more feminine. I want to be more. You know what I mean? I want to be more fit. We have workout groups. We have how to eat. We have, it's certain things that we need to work on. Getting back to being the feminine women. Why won't you say anything about that, Steve Harvey? See, we don't want to talk about Marjorie for real. Because see, my problem is with women too. See, this is how you know, and I'm gonna be quiet. This is how you know, MrLetGo, that they want anything to be approved that benefits them, because they don't talk about how he really did his ex-wife. That woman has a story. Have you been listening to that? But see, as long as
it's on the show. Yep, we talk about it.
It is, but they don't talk about that. See, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about a man who had 3 marriages. He asked Kevin Samuels every time they talk to him. It's just like that woman just asked you, are you married? Are you married? What's the point? That ain't gonna change the truth, because the facts don't care about your feelings.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Why are you asking They ask Kevin Samuels all the time about his status. But did you ask Steve Harvey? Ask Steve Harvey. Do you know why Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey really did have an issue? It was because he was cheating.
Hey.
That's what the backstory was behind their friendship breaking up. Now, I cannot solidify that as truth, but that's what they were saying when they had that fallout. Bernie Mac, because Bernie Mac was loyal to his wife.
So hold on. So listen to this right here.
Women is everything. They catch me out. They the lick, man.
Steve Harvey is on his 3rd marriage. His 3rd wife was mistress to his second wife. Yet black people have anointed this the oracle when it comes to black dating.
That's what's wrong with this generation.
And that was Chris Rock's brother. That was a fellow comedian. Not just some random person, a fellow comedian, Tony Rock. And Tony Rock and Chris Rock was around before Steve Harvey was around, and that's all I'm saying. But we got a couple more people up here. What are y'all thoughts? I can't see y'all names. The screen is so damn little.
I'm Kermit.
All right.
Hey, brother. I was listening to the conversation. I was reading the comments as you were you were trying to explain to the audience that that how men, we're not worried about like hair weaves and all that stuff, and you say, yeah, we just worry about literally about the ass, bro. You weren't lying. And then all the guys were in the comments saying true, 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 true. All the women were saying you're lying. I'm like, bro, you have all these men that sitting up here validating what another man is saying,
right?
And you have everybody sitting up here saying that it's not true. It's like sometimes you just got to take the information. Just take the information.
Mm-hmm. But what Steve Harvey has done to women, he has put women in a position where they actually think they are the ones who should be listened to when it comes to what men want. Because people like Steve Harvey. The reason why women don't listen to what men want is because everybody thinks, we all think like Steve Harvey, and none of us think like Steve Harvey. And that's what makes Steve Harvey problematic.
Yep, but you know what it is though. That's because Steve Harvey is saying things that they want to hear.
Pandering.
When a vast majority, you can get on this app and you can see what a vast majority of us are asking for.
Yep.
And they're acting like it don't matter. It's like, well, y'all gonna listen to, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when white people find one black person in the community who agrees with their white supremacist view, and they just hone in on that one individual.
Right.
It reminds me. It's given us the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Listen to the majority of us. Listen to the majority of us, and it'll be a lot easier for y'all.
And that's the bottom line. Steve Harvey, since he has a platform, he turns around and says all this bullshit that the rest of us disagree with, and now they're like, but Steve Harvey said this. He's not one of us. And that's the thing that women don't understand. Steve Harvey is not one of us. We don't do nothing that Steve Harvey does. I'm never going to want Steve Harvey's life because no.
And then to sister Kanai, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. To her point, they always used to talk about how Kevin Samuels wasn't married. You don't have to be married to understand. If you're a man, you don't have to be married to know what a man wants. We know what the hell we want. You have plenty of unmarried men that know what they want in a woman.
Yeah.
So why is that a thing? Why does that matter?
So all these thousands of men are saying they want a woman that isn't fat. They want a woman that don't got therapy and isn't emotionally unstable. But here comes Steve Harvey saying, oh yeah, you could be this, you can do whatever you want to do, and lying to women. And now he's the one that's confusing women. But they think we're crazy. He's the problem, not us.
But that's okay because the results will show everything. Yeah. The results will show everything. Period. When they're old and alone, they're going to be like, damn, maybe I took the wrong advice.
I agree.
Maybe I should have been listening to all of the men around me who were saying, this is what I want, as opposed to listening to just one man who was saying what I wanted to hear.
Right. So
that's because a lot of these women they're not used to being around masculine men. That's the problem.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me hear what Mel V. What's your name?
My name is Kia.
Oh, so what are your thoughts?
I mean, I was listening to, I'm just going to go back to the conversation where women is too masculine. And I feel like a lot of women has been forced into that role, not necessarily because they want to, but because they had to.
Had to by why? What do you mean they had to? Had to what?
When I say that, I mean single mothers having to do things on their own.
Wait. Why did they become single mothers? If you were not a single mother, you wouldn't have to do all this on your own. These are choices. Why is a woman choosing to be a single mother?
Certain relationships don't work.
So wait. Nobody told you to have a baby. See, if I rob a bank, am I forced to go to prison? Well, I didn't choose to go to prison. I was forced to go to prison. Yeah, because I robbed a bank. So
okay, but I'm just saying, listen to what I'm saying to you. I can't tell you what's going to happen 5-10 years down the line.
I can.
At that time.
Wait. I can. If you don't get married and you as a woman, not just you, if you keep having sex unprotected, not you, but women, for the next 5 years without being married, you're going to end up being a double single mother. So I can tell you what you're going to be in the next 5 years. Why can't you tell yourself what you're going to be in the next 5 years? So the bottom line is, for example, I used to be a drug dealer. I stopped selling drugs. Why? Because in the next 5 years, I would have been in prison. So when you are doing something stupid over and over and over again, you're going to end up being stupid 5 years later, right?
Okay, right there, you're generalizing, and that's not what I'm saying to you.
Whoa. I said if you do something stupid, you're going to end up being stupid 5 years later. That is not generalizing. That is common sense.
Okay, but just because somebody is a single parent, whether there's a mother or a father, doesn't mean they made a bad decision.
They did make a bad decision. They didn't get married. What are you talking about?
Things don't work out. Things don't work out in a relationship. People don't get along. Anything can happen.
Don't have
I'm not
babies.
narrowing it down. I'm not narrowing it down.
Stop having pookie babies.
That's why we
Are you gonna let me finish? Because you're speaking to a 45, 46 years old woman
stop having pookie babies.
That is 23 years old.
Stop having pookie babies, okay? Can you say this to yourself? Write it on your wall. I will no longer have pookie babies.
I was married when I had my son. I was married when I had my son.
So you're not a single mother.
If she get a divorce, she is. If she get a divorce, she is. You're not listening through.
Ma'am.
Because you're not letting me finish.
Okay.
You're not thinking.
Okay, I need y'all to calm down. Okay. If you were married, you're not a single mother. You are divorced. We're talking about unwed women who have babies out of wedlock. Okay. If you marry somebody and it does not work out, you are not a single mother. You are a divorced mother. So what is your grievance?
And I'm a mother.
Single means one.
Stop.
So I don't know.
You're an unwed.
Single, yes, it does. Single.
Yes, it does. So now you want to change the definition.
Stop.
But she didn't say unwed. She said single though. She's talking about single, which means
so you aren't forced to do anything. You still chose a wrong man, and you chose to have a baby. So all of this is a choice. Nobody forced you to do nothing. Stop. Why do y'all always run around want to be damn victims of every goddamn thing? I was forced to be this net. I literally said if I sell crack for 5 years, I'm gonna go to damn prison. If I rob banks for 2 years, I'm gonna go to damn prison. If you have unprotected sex with another person, you're gonna have a damn baby. These are choices. Don't have sex, don't rob banks, don't sell crack, and guess what? You won't be a single mother or you won't go to prison. Life is that simple. Shit. Or stay married. Thank you. Somebody said in the chat. Or stay married. I bet you left your marriage.
And if you were married, you can't get alimony and child support. You can't get as an unwed mother.
Did you divorce him or did he divorce you?
We decided mutually to go in separate. Let me finish. Like I said, I let you finish.
She divorced him,
you don't let people finish.
She forced herself into single motherhood.
Girl, calm down.
She made a choice. I'm not happy, and I don't want to do this no more. Next, this should I be talking about, y'all? Well, you're forced into single motherhood. You left your marriage. I was forced to leave my marriage. That's what I'm saying, y'all.
They see and they believe that they forced to see what the problem is I have with that, because you got women in third world countries under worse conditions than we are in the U.S. You can go out here and do whatever you want to in this U.S. You put your mind to it. Them women out there got conditions. They wish they had washers and dryers. They still feminine. Mm-hmm. They operate in their femininity. I don't understand what the difference is. If they have hard conditions, you have better conditions than they do.
Oh, God damn it. Sheesh. What in the world?
You are the better conditions than they do. It's like I was forced. How are you forced? My daddy told me, can't nobody force you to do nothing you don't want to do. It's a choice. At the end of the day, nobody put a gun to your head and told you that you had to be a masculine woman because you're raising your children. Raising children does not make you masculine. Raising children makes you a mother. It makes you feminine.
Wait, can
doesn't
you say
make
that
you
again?
no masculine.
Can you say that again, please?
Raising children makes you a mother. It makes you a feminine woman that's giving counsel to your kids, teaching your kids, instructing your children. Ain't got nothing to do with masculinity. You put yourself in the mind of a masculine person when you talk to a man like you don't got no sense. When you talking to your child's father, you ain't got no sense. Like I said, it goes back. It's always on the men because these women are mad at the choices they made. Now, we do have some women that confess that, yes, I did make those choices, but you made the choice. Nobody made you do nothing. We got to stop operating in this mindset of a 14-year-old girl and grow up and get some Shahrazad Ali in your brain. Go read some Jewel Puckenbrooks. Go read Francis Cress Wilson and get some research and knowledge in your head about your people, where we come from, what we've been through, why we going through it, and why we in the conditions, why we in the conditions and circumstances today. I don't understand the thinking that comes from Black women. Y'all think exactly like Zaddy wants y'all to think, and they benefit more than you do. Yeah, the
lack of accountability.
The lack of accountability is ridiculous. Accountability is like kryptonite to a Black woman.
So
you can't tell her nothing.
So hold on. So the little choice maker. So now do you understand that nobody forced you to do nothing?
I never said anybody forced me to do anything. That's why I said you have to let a person
we
finish.
were forced to be single mothers.
Let me just say, I feel like that. Let me just say this. I feel like a lot of times roles has been reversed because of being a single parent, whether you're a mother or whether you're a father. Can I finish, please?
Go ahead.
All situations don't work out. Like you said, going to jail, whether one of the parents went to the jail, whether it was a father or a mother, whether a parent passed away, whether a parent got sick and couldn't provide, whatever the situation is. I'm just speaking. Whatever the situation is, everybody's situation can't be like mine. My situation may not be like yours or anybody else's. I'm just speaking that for me, I never wanted to play daddy role. I can't be a father to my son.
Role. Is your daddy?
Let me finish. Let me finish.
No. Is your baby?
Finish,
no. I want to ask a question. I want to ask you a question first. Is your baby daddy a loser? Because if your baby daddy isn't a loser, he's playing daddy role.
My son dad is no longer here. So that's what I'm saying to you. Now, I had some women or some of my female friends that would send me messages, for instance, on Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. And I would send them a message back. I'm not a father. Regardless of what people may see or may think, I can never teach my son how to be a man. I can teach him how to be a gentleman, but I can't teach him how to be a man.
How old is your
son? I can reach out to my brothers. I can reach out to my uncle. I can even reach out to my dad. I'm 23 years old.
Okay, stop. Just a question, okay? And I'm not married either. It's just a question. Is there a reason why you have not put a man in front of him for the last 23 years since the dad was not around that will put you in a position where you don't have to also be a father? He's 23. You had 23 years to do this.
Away. He passed away
a new
when
man,
he was 6.
New man.
Let me finish. He passed away when he was 6. I was in a long-term relationship with a gentleman that has been helping me when it came to those things. Now, in the beginning, when we first got together, I was real protective of letting him parent my child. But I had to learn who he was.
Another choice.
As a man.
Wait. So you made another choice to not let a man parent
a
child that you needed a parent for.
No, this man right now is a blessing. It's a blessing. Like I said, my son is grown, and he still calls my son and sees my son every day. Every day, my son looks to him as a father. And I'm saying that because some women won't do that. Whereas though they think that they can play both roles. And I know I couldn't play both roles. I know it was things as a man that he was able to teach him that I would never be able to teach him. Things he would be able to show him and guide him that I would never be able to.
So like since a man has been in your son's life, you did not have to be the man. What are you talking about? You apparently have a man in your son's life.
I wasn't speaking. That's why I was trying to finish. I was never speaking about myself. I had to give props to women that had to do it. I had to give props to women that had to do it by themselves, whether it was one child or multiple.
They made a choice. They weren't forced either.
And they did.
Your point is women are forced to be masculine. No, the hell y'all aren't. Y'all are choosing all this mess and y'all are blaming it on a man. No. Nobody chose it. Nobody forced you to do nothing, lady. You chose this life.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? She left because she got mad.
I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
Good.
It's okay to get mad, but I think it's always important to have these conversations and try to be progressive about it. I kind of understand where she's coming from, and I'll support my statement as I go along. But before I do, this is my overview with this topic, because as Black people, okay, I'm in Africa. You guys are in a different part of the world. My diagnosis and my realization with the Black community is that there's a sense of not understanding vision, building a Black legacy where family is concerned. One. Why? There's a displacement of all the roles because there's a tendency to want to force certain boxes to even when life shows us differently. Which is the speaker, she said certain women, it feels as though they're forced circumstantially to rise up and become masculine, right? And this is my viewpoint on that. Life in and of itself doesn't box you into one particular role that you play, even in relationships as a couple, right? There are masculine elements that the woman will have where the man lacks. And sometimes there's feminine elements that will come from the man as well, because our strengths are different. I think we don't understand that with relationships, it's a co-creation. And there are weak points in others, and there are strong points in others that will work together, either to make the relationship a success or make it fail, regardless of what it is, but it's a co-creation. And those co-creative elements tend to vary in different things. Sometimes it can happen where the woman earns more. It just happens by virtue of her career, and the man earns less. Does that make? But then that also doesn't make him feminine. And I'm just saying that because that example is the perfect example to place in the circumstances that we find ourselves in, which we can't allow the boxes we've given ourselves to say a woman should be feminine and that's on period and that's where it's going to end. There are certain things that are going to have to make her move in a way where she has to protect her man emotionally. That's a masculine act, is protection, right? As much as it might come from a nurturing place because she's supposed to be feminine, but in essences where he's sensitive and she's supposed to protect him, that's a masculine trait, right? And we need to understand the trade-offs with these traits, and they come about in relationships and they get exposed to us because there's a variety of things that exist. What's my point? The Black community lacks a sense of vision. And I'm going to say this because I'm just seeing it on the spectrum. We are now a global community. We're exposed to each other in different ways. And this is just me drawing my conclusion. We might be displacing the way we want to receive Uncle Steve's advice, right? Because of the displacement of the identities that we've assumed, because of the struggle that Black people have faced in displacing us in a familial relationship. Our family, it's going down. You know, it's almost as though we are in extended families. It's seldom that it's a nuclear family of Black people who raise their kids, get married, and have the longevity of love and the longevity of exposing love as children. And to even be in a place where we're comfortable to say, no, Black men are delusional, no, Black females are delusional, shows that the moral essence or the principles that we stand on have vanished. If I can stand on a platform and call one of my kind delusional, there's an essence of a love that's missing already. And I think this is where Uncle Steve comes in. Uncle Steve is purely just saying, come as you are. Because another thing that we don't realize is that unconditional love is actually key. And it can teach you, I don't know, well, it taught me in my own experiences when I found myself unconditionally loving. Right? Not because I was taught to, not because they said it's the right thing or whatever, but it naturally happened. When you can get to a place of understanding that that was the foundation that's needed to keep the Black community intact so that our values and our principles can have a vision, and then the displaced identities that we have about a man is supposed to do this, a woman is supposed to do that, can come from a place of love first. Then we won't think Uncle Steve is delusional. Then anybody can come as they are. The man can come as he is with his dysfunctions. The woman can come as she is with her dysfunctions. Why? Because the power of unconditional love, which we've walked away from, because, we're chasing looking so nice for these men because that's what they want. We're not even speaking on a love level. The things that are at the foundation that don't cost a thing, we're not even talking about that. To show that, our identity has gone way over our heads because we now try to make it the balance of power, the striking off of this one is better, this one sounds better, as opposed to, okay, who are we today? What's our identity today? What have the things that have been done to us? We can't take that away. We can't take our history away and how it's displaced the family structure within the Black community. It's displaced it, okay? And this is where we are now. We need to redefine the things that are of importance. Like I'm saying, unconditional love where mutual respect can be built. Now we understand the essence of two desires coalescing and coming to create what we want our children to grow up and have a legacy as. You know, I don't know in America, but this side, and I'm in South Africa, I was actually asking myself, how many other races have what we currently have, where a person's preference of a partner is not the person that they had children with?
Yeah.
And how it's jaded, you know?
Yeah.
It's really, really jaded, because then from an early age, the expression of love between a man and a woman, which is very imperative for a generation that's going to go on and be strong in the world, especially a race, right?
Yeah.
To be exposed to. And we need to understand that kids get exposed to our demonstration, not what we say, but what we do, how we act, how we behave. Those psychological actions have an impact to who we've become today. But if we don't address the important things, we're going to be on platforms talking about shit that's not progressive, talking about a woman should be this, a man should be this, without analyzing the issues that we should be analyzing, to say, okay, let's go back to love. Okay, let's go back to mutual respect. Let's go back to the sense of community that Black people naturally have, right? In building a legacy that can be strong, where we don't feel displaced in the world about our identity because we're a certain color, because everything that's important is going way over our head, right? So in essence, it's important for us to revisit the values, the unseen things. That's why our spiritual essence is kind of important. And I say spiritual, I mean the things we can't see, right? Love, hope, I mean respect. That's what I mean when I say spiritual, right? Let's go back to the basis of those things that we know are there in abundance, so that a king will understand he's a king. And by virtue of him understanding that he's a king, he'll serve from a place of love. Now, what he wants naturally.
Hold on, let me get to Emil. I appreciate you saying that. Destiny, Emil, what are y'all thoughts? And Therese,
yeah.
Okay. What are y'all thoughts on everything?
I would like to say I appreciate the sister who's from South Africa, but coming from the diaspora, there is a layer in which we are forgetting. When you come into the thought process of how men and women are structured, we were not able to be married until the 1800s, after we were freed. So when you think about the structure of family and you want to talk about the structure of family, we were not allowed to be families. For so long, we were not allowed to be
families now.
We were not allowed to be families. Hold, please. We weren't allowed to be families. And so since we've been allowed to be families,
we have always been allowed to have families. Stop.
No, we were not. Dear, look it up.
Stop. Nobody cares
Please look
about
it
that.
up.
We're not being families now.
Marriage was not legal for Black Americans in this
last
country.
50 years. We've been able to do it last 50 years. We ain't doing it.
But pay attention to the root of the problem, darling.
What about now?
Nobody cares. Are you married, my love? Have you ever been married?
What about right now?
Have you ever been married?
What about right now?
Have you ever been married?
Yes. What's going on right now?
That's my question. Have you been married?
I
Yes.
just said yes.
Okay, great. And so what was the reason your marriage did not stay together?
Ma'am.
Oh.
Can we talk about right now?
I'm asking right now. You're not married now, so what's the reason your marriage didn't stay together? We just had a conversation. I just tried to give you historical context, and you didn't want it.
The young lady just talked about how we have a problem with working together. So that is the conversation. Correct. And Steve Harvey.
So that's my point. So together, did you work together with the wife that you had?
I still work together with her now. Yes.
Perfect. So my question about today's conversation, when we're talking about what Steve said on his show this morning, his point was literally saying men are supposed to protect and provide. The reason that men are not able to protect and provide solely, it has nothing to do with the fact that whether women or not can cover themselves, women or not can pay for themselves, have jobs, etc. The reason he mentioned this morning was that women are taking care of themselves because there are not men who they can rely on from end to end.
Start right there. No, they are not choosing men that they can rely on from end to end. Most women are choosing the lowest bottom of the barrel man to have a baby with. The majority of Black women have babies with the lower group of men in society. That is a fact. And on top of that, most of the men that Black women have babies with already have children that they aren't already taken care of. So women by droves, black women mainly, are having babies by men who have babies with other women and did not marry them. So
Can I ask another
women
question,
are
sir?
not stop. Women are choosing. Here's the magic word again that we were talking about earlier. Choosing. See, y'all always want to be victims of some shit.
I don't want to be a victim of anything. I'm just asking questions.
Stop. Choosing to have babies with losers. That is a choice. Go ahead.
So let me ask this question. So who's holding men accountable? Who's holding the losers accountable? Because we got a whole lot of books. We fill in libraries full of books about women's choices.
I'm on here holding Steve Harvey accountable now.
Hey,
other men are all the time. We hold each other accountable all the time. That's society.
Hold on.
Hello,
ma'am.
I've been trying to talk for the past 30 minutes, but
hold on
I don't have a
Hold
word.
on. Let me just answer her question. First of all,
okay.
I am one of the only men out here holding men accountable. I hold men and women accountable. I'm doing this show about a man, which is Steve Harvey. So who is holding men accountable? Me. But that's not even the damn point. Why aren't
he's a multimillionaire taking care of his family.
Making
What about
better
the
choices
losers
on
you
who you
just
give your
mentioned?
damn womb to?
But what about the losers you just mentioned? Who's managing those losers?
But I have a question.
I can answer that. Y'all, black women are managing.
Question.
Wait, hold on.
It's like I really have a question.
I just want to say this one thing. The managers or the losers are black women. Y'all got them niggas in y'all houses living off y'all damn child support from your other baby daddy. That's who's managing the losers. Y'all
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
I have a question.
How about we talk about therapy?
We could talk about therapy.
What is? Yeah, I'm sorry,
therapy?
my English is my English is not very good.
Okay.
Okay. I'm from a French African country. I'm from DRC. So just try and understand me. My question is, what is your vision on therapy?
Okay, my vision on therapy
It's like-
is
the question is.
You're asking me a question,
See, Harvey?
ma'am, stop.
I will let you answer.
Stop.
Yeah, I will let answer.
What is wrong with y'all? I'm trying to answer your freaking question. I have a vision on therapy. I feel like nobody needs to be in a relationship with nobody else unless they've had therapy. And one of the problems that we have as black people is nobody has gotten therapy. I've gotten therapy 3 times.
That's exactly why I asked for a view here. Yeah. Because I realized that we basically have all the same problems from Black Africans in the US, okay, or in South Africa or everywhere. We have one thing that we don't do. It's like we don't ask ourselves the real questions. Am I ready for this? Am I built up enough for this? We just go into things.
Yep.
Yeah, and then when it gets horrible, we just go like, oh, this one is to be blamed, and that one is to be blamed. And the thing is, how about we figure out our lives? Like, we know that we all come from hustles. We all know that when we were kids, life wasn't easy, okay? At some point, before starting a new relationship with someone else, maybe we should ourselves figure out how to, like, maybe becoming a better person before I go, I don't know.
So I agree with you. We've been talking about therapy. Go ahead, brother.
Listen, I agree with a lot of stuff that you said, man. I tell you, just hear what I said. I agree with everything, most of the stuff that you're saying. But the part where I don't agree with you is where you're saying the losers, like the brothers are the loser. Like, I'm not a loser. I don't think I'm a loser at all. But what about me? What do you call a man like me? Am I a loser when the woman decides to take away the child?
Hello.
I don't understand that part.
Hold on, ma'am.
Maybe I can help you answer that.
Ma'am. Let him talk. So, first, it is not necessarily what men do when you start hearing what somebody's talking about other people and you make it your situation. That's what women do when they be like, not all women. So there's a huge amount of black men that are losers. And there's a huge amount of black women that have babies with losers. Okay. And there's a huge amount of women who have babies with losers who already have kids. So that is a fact. So whether you choose to put yourself in that loser world, that's up to you.
They don't come like that, brother. They do not come like that.
They do come like that.
No, absolutely not. Did you know that your wife was like that? Did you know that it wouldn't work out?
Go ahead. Sir, men are making choices just like women are making choices. So you're not going to come up here.
I think it's wrong.
Yes.
Hold on.
It doesn't come like that, brother. Everyone that jump in a relationship because they are good.
I'm going to mute you.
No, but getting lied to.
Be quiet for a second. Can I finish what I'm saying? So
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Men make choices and women make choices. And what's sad about us as a people, which is the biggest problem, is we don't acknowledge that these are choices that we make, and all we want to do is blame some damn body else. Women blame men, and men blame the white man. It's stupid.
Very true.
Dude, do you know believe a relationship is about chances?
Mm-hmm. No. It's not about chances, really. Relationship is all about your self-conscious, your self-love.
I don't understand this part. Relationship. How do you know I'm a good person unless you take a chance with me?
Correct.
Wait. I can answer that.
I trust myself.
Wait, I can answer that.
I trust myself.
Let me answer that.
I start a relationship.
Ma'am, let me answer that.
Okay.
So the way a woman can find out if you're a good man is hand you over to her daddy and let him deal with you and make that assessment. That's how. And if your daddy makes the wrong decision, her daddy will come get her and take her away from you, and she moves back in her daddy's house until her daddy finds or chooses another man for her. That's how.
Is that how you found your wife?
Listen.
Okay.
It sounds a little bit
Can you
tacky,
say that again,
fair chief. It sounds out of control. Let me tell you that. Just by hearing you saying the explanation doesn't even sound right, bro.
Right.
I agree with you with a lot of stuff that you're saying.
Victimized explanation sounds even worse.
No, not necessary, brother. Trust me, not necessary, man.
Can everybody?
I didn't meet the daddy. That's not the daddy. I didn't meet the daddy first. I met the girl first.
Why didn't you meet the daddy?
And what if the girl doesn't have a daddy?
Don't mess with her.
No.
Okay, friends. Sir, did you meet your wife father before you
That's a
married
part
her?
of her childhood trauma, not having a daddy.
Did you meet your father? Did you meet your wife's father before you married her?
Can we all keep quiet?
God
please?
damn it. Everybody take turns talking.
No, can you please re-say? Maybe we misunderstood you. Okay? Can you please re-say what you said?
What?
No, maybe. Can you please, whatever the statement you had about can you please redo that again?
What?
He mentioned that you have to meet the father first. The father chooses the man.
Yes, and I meet.
Can you please restate?
Listen. Y'all got to learn how to listen. Y'all ask a question and keep talking. The majority of the women that I date, I meet their fathers before it gets serious. Anything else?
Before it gets serious,
okay, that's an option. That's an option because in some world,
the woman's father.
Yeah, but there's a world where women don't have fathers.
My ex-wife's father gave her to me at our wedding day. What are you talking about?
And she chose wrong. It sounds like he chose wrong because y'all got divorced.
No, she didn't choose wrong.
Come on, you being aggressive.
No, I'm not trying to be aggressive, but the point is that he's saying that if the father chooses, I'm just trying to go off of what he's saying. Okay. I'm not trying to be argumentative.
Emil, stop talking, Emil. Emil, stop talking.
How about we tell him that there's a world
wait for a second and let the other people talk? So,
Therese, can we please maybe tell him that there's a world where kids have no father?
Okay.
There's a
okay. So Therese.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be argumentative. I'm just asking a question. So what you're saying, if your logic is true, right? Mm-hmm. The thought process is that you met the way you originally phrased it was the father is to make the choice for the wife, right? Yes. The daughter, right?
Yes.
And I understand that concept. But that comes after the other gentleman was saying that doesn't come first. That comes within the process of it, but it doesn't mean it comes first. So when you first make a decision with someone, when you first make the decision to meet people, or you're going out and you're dating and you're mating, no one's standing at a library going, I think you're really great. Can I get your father's phone number?
I do that.
Like, we've got to live in a real world.
I do that.
So,
I do that.
I I'm glad you do, but not everybody does. So how is that practical? And as the young lady you muted.
Listen, I can only speak for myself, okay? I can only
That's good.
I can only lead by example. So I get
correct. But in the real world, as the other gentleman said,
let me finish, get my words out. So
sure, sir, go ahead. Go ahead, dear.
I get women's parents' phone numbers once I see them because if I'm just dating you, we're just dating. All right, I'm not going to get nobody's phone number. But once I see you as somebody that, like, you know, we start having conversations about being in a relationship, I want to meet your daddy. I want to meet your mama. I want to meet your brother. I want to meet your auntie.
Right. All of that comes with.
Hold on. One last thing. I met my last girlfriend's entire family. So. And
what did you find out?
What do you mean?
What did you find out? Because you said my last girlfriend, and she's still your girlfriend today?
It didn't work out.
Okay. What was the reason?
It didn't work out. But the bottom line is
if you keep talking,
listen. I followed my own strategy of meeting the person's family, because sometimes you meet the woman's family and they crazy as hell.
Correct. Mine is crazy as shit. Crazy.
Aaron, you're a lot of intelligent man. You're very intelligent, brother. Don't go there. You're not.
Everybody in my family. No shade. Love them all.
I like you, bro.
Hold on, Therese. You said your family is crazy or not?
My
crazy?
whole family crazy as road lizards. Love them to death. But that's not the way the world works. That's not the way the world works.
No, the world works in my life pretty well, because my family dynamic is not nutso. So I'm not gonna be with a woman that has a nutso family, because y'all want to have me looking crazy or being crazy.
Aaron,
I want to be crazy like y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Aaron, you speak a lot more sense in the past. This one, you're not going right, bro. Just don't stop talking.
Sir, I'm not here to perform for y'all. I don't care.
No, you're doing great. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not. Listen, I'm not here to counterattack you, bro. I'm not even.
I don't have to.
I'm just telling you because it doesn't make any sense. Because if you're doing that,
sir, I don't.
It doesn't make any sense, bro.
About what I'm doing. I'm just sharing.
I'm trying to help you out, man. It's not. I mean, I know you can block me. I get it. Listen, man. I give you a lot of respect. I give you a lot of respect for the things that you say.
I don't have to make y'all like. I'm sharing my own perspective, and I don't give a damn about what y'all
Understood. Clear. It is clear. I got it.
So, anybody else? Oh, now everybody quiet.
You see my point, man? You see my point? It's clear, right? You see my point? Because you're smarter than that, bro.
You know what happened?
I like you from when you started, from way back. I've been watching you, bro. I'm one of your supporters.
This is what happened.
Nothing happened there, man. We just make ourselves look fool right now.
Once I take the argument
No, you did great. Listen, you did great. Listen, sometimes it's okay to listen. Sometimes it's okay to listen. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you anything else, bro.
Sir, all I'm doing is I'm letting you know that now they quiet because they have nothing else to argue with. Because I told them.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, man. The ladies there, they were very. If I felt attacked, I would have said something too. You get what I'm saying? But I don't think that was the case. They just set it up. They set it up for us, and you just fell for the trap, man. That's all it was. It wasn't none at all.
I fell for a trap. Sir, y'all
man, because you didn't have to say all of that. You didn't have to say all that. You said it so good. I'm on your platform. That's right.
My platform.
I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter. That you know that I'm a supporter. I'm on.
Can you stop for a second? Y'all on my platform. Y'all can't set me up for nothing. What are you talking about? A trap?
It's not like that, bro. That's not what you're thinking. We're not trying to set you up. It's just, you see, the whole room was quiet because they know, like, okay, what else we're gonna say?
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Because women love to argue. They just like, blah, 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 blah. Were you married?
I didn't see that at all. I really didn't see that.
That was a real question. I genuinely wasn't aware. So I asked, and I don't think that was wrong to ask. I just want to understand, because I'm coming in here new and not knowing what your point of view is. It was fair to ask. I thought so. If it wasn't fair to ask, then you should have said, I'm sorry, that's not relevant to the conversation. But I definitely wanted to just understand from where your vantage point came from and where you were, what your point of view was sourced from, right? Because there's a lot of conversations out in the sphere today from men telling women how they need to be, how they need to live, how they need to act, how they need to catch a man, how they need to grab a man, how they need to behave, all of those things. So I'm asking from where is your vantage point that you have kept a woman, managed the household, kept up with the relationship, taken care of a family, continued to do what you were supposed to do while you're out calling others losers? I just want to understand, where do you fall on the spectrum to be able to give that advice or make that or say those statements without being really honest and saying, hey, I was married once, I made a mistake, I learned from those mistakes, I all of those things.
Okay, so I like the way you asked that, and that was asked very differently, and the context of it was a lot more clearer. See, at first we was in the middle of gunfire, and we was just going back and forth about random stuff or whatever, and then you're like, "Were you married?" So
I just asked. I just asked.
So listen. So now that you, that the smoke has cleared and the guns are back in the holsters, now I can answer the question where there's no gunplay. So I was divorced. Well, I am divorced, and that was when I was in my early 20s, and I have been divorced ever since then.
Okay. So that's fair. And I'm divorced as well. Yeah, and so that's why I asked that question.
Okay.
Because
and I have 2 grown children. 2 grown daughters.
Great. That's helpful. Yeah. And the reason I say that is because your response is that women are making poor choices, but we're not making.
That was a response to a woman making a poor choice.
Okay, that's helpful. That's also helpful context, because I was gonna say, like, that's why I came with my gun out.
No, women was just like, we're forced to be masculine because men are this, and I was like, no, the men you choose are trash. Nobody forced you anything. You have a baby by a loser.
Yeah, correct. And so, but my concern is that the conversation that we are continuing to perpetuate is, and that's really where I came from, was to support my sister who said, she had a 23-year-old and she did it all by herself. I'm doing it by myself now, not to my own reasoning or rationale, but because my ex-husband just doesn't have a desire. He does not have a desire to be a dad. He's got 3 children.
Well, stop right there.
I'm being honest.
I get you, but my thing is this: when it comes to losers, right? Mm-hmm. My ex-wife, I can call her right now. She has a phone. Like we're a team. You feel me? Like,
correct.
My kids are over their mama house, or I'm on my kid. We around each other on a normal basis. Like, me and my ex-wife bump into each other because we both over our daughters' houses. You feel me? So
I hear that.
I'm bumping into my ex-wife that I ain't been with in like 15 years. You feel me? So the thing about it is, because we're still actively parenting, like we're literally, mom will be on a speakerphone and my daughter's in a car. Or
I wish.
You get what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, when it comes to our choices, marriage or not, just because you asked me, I want to ask you, why is he not in the child's life? Because that's the biggest thing. Not, are you married? Are you not married? Da, da, da.
Yeah,
why aren't these people still parenting these little kids, male or female?
We raised a son together, which was his son, because his son's mother passed away. So I raised his child when we were married, and then we have a daughter together. And then after our divorce, he had another daughter. So he's got 3 kids. None of the 3 of them want to talk to him. He moved away from them. He left the state.
Is there a reason why? Is it mental issues, or he just don't like what? I don't know.
He likes them enough to say that he likes the way it looks to be a parent, but he doesn't actually want to do the day-to-day living of it.
So
right?
just a question.
Sure.
Because it goes back to what I said earlier. A lot of women are having babies by men who have children that they are not taking care of. I don't know if you were here when I said that, but I'll repeat that just in case somebody didn't get that. The majority of our Black women are having babies with men who have babies with women and that aren't taking care of the first child. So,
Thanks.
And that is the issue that we are having. Our women are making the dumbest decisions when it comes to the people that making the dumbest decisions with the potential people that we're having babies with. And that is what the whole loser conversation came from.
Okay, that's helpful context. But I will say this. My son, my ex-husband did have a son when we got together. He was a younger child. Both of them were very ill. The mother passed away when we were married. I took the child into my home and raised him as my own.
Mhm.
He's 19 today.
Okay.
He doesn't have any contact with his father. Our daughter is 16 today. She has no contact with her father. He has a 9-year-old. The 9-year-old has no contact with their father. So I can't tell you why he's not interested.
So the woman after you, he has 2 children that he's not taking care of. And this dummy turns around and has a third baby with him. And this is what I be saying. What is wrong with our women? Why do they keep having babies by these dudes with all these damn children? First of all, who wants a woman? Who wants a man? Unless you ugly, fat, or something. Who wants a man that got 2 baby mamas in the first place? Who is this third woman?
Can I express that for you real quick?
Go
Because
ahead.
because what it looks like is they're Instagram dads. I was the one doing all the work to maintain the household, the kids, and everything else because he didn't make enough to cover everything end to end. Again, and that's where it goes back to when you have a person who's not able to manage their household, provide and protect, right? That's where we talked about the source. Provide and protect. If you're not able to provide and protect end to end, then that I guess makes men, I get it. It may make them feel emasculated or whatever the case may be. I will tell you that I did my best as a wife to a horrible husband. But I will also tell you I'm responsible for my behavior, my actions, my own. I own that. What I will tell you is that what he did after we divorced and after I made the choice to end our marriage literally was on him. He had access to our kids anytime. He had access to, to our kids. No, it wasn't about child support. It wasn't about any of that. He chooses to do 0. Like a phone call is free. Right?
I understand. I do understand what you're saying. And it's just, but these are the men I talk about. All right. And the only thing that I would say, because with me, like I say, when I just start really looking at a woman like I want to be with her, I'm finna get on the phone. Like my ex-girlfriend met my kids. Well, met one of my daughters. And it was still early because I wanted her to see my family dynamic. You get what I'm saying? My daughter was in the kitchen cooking.
Again, somebody in the comments is saying that men are master manipulators. And so, again, to your point,
men are master manipulators.
Wait. I'm just reading what comments are coming
and you're
through.
able to have conversations with other people. He can't manipulate you.
Correct, but here's the deal. I'm reading your comments in your comment section. Folks are saying that women are making poor choices with bad intel, right?
And it goes back to what I say. The man needs to meet the man. My daughter, my youngest daughter is married. And guess what? I took her husband through the ringer. He had to sit down with me and pass a damn test. Literally.
As it should.
And he stood up and I said, you passed the test. Welcome to the family. Period.
And I have a question about that. That's the only reason why I came up here. So I definitely agree with the whole father and meeting the dad thing. But I just have when you made the statement, well, when the guy said, well, what if she doesn't have a dad? And you said, well, then don't date him.
Right.
So then why? Because what if her dad died? What if she had a dad and her dad happened to pass away before you got into her life? That doesn't disqualify her for being a good person. Why you just can't go to the
it just
next
disqualifies her from being with me. I don't want to be with her.
But why?
Because I have standards.
And your standard could be
because the dad
woman who doesn't have a dad.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I'm. Thank you, Miss Therese. That's what I'm saying. What if she's a good woman? What if she's the woman for you?
I don't care. I don't care. See, this is woman shit. I don't care. All right. I'm a man and I have standards. And one of my standards is you got to have a damn daddy. All right. And if you ain't got no daddy, we can hang out. We have fun. We sleep together. But I ain't taking your ass serious because you ain't got no daddy. Sorry.
What if my parents died holding hands because they, a great love story and they just died holding hands and now I don't have one? Damn. Well, you know what I mean? Like that's the wildest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Listen, it depends on the context. did you not have a daddy, or did your daddy and your mom died holding hands? And if you got a picture of your mom and dad in a coffin holding hands, then I'll be like, oh shit, that's dope. Okay, and I'm cool with it. But if
I just literally asked you that, you said
hands, no. I'm not gonna be with you. I need to see them holding hands in the coffin.
Wow. Did you have both of your parents? Did you have both of your parents? I'm just asking.
No. Well,
then why are you able? That's probably why you have the standard.
Listen, I have both of my parents, but my mom was the primary parent.
Okay. Okay. That explains a lot.
Oh yeah, it really does, don't it?
It do, Mr. Rez. Okay.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I don't care. See, that's the thing. I don't care. That's why I've said it before. I don't give a damn. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. See, y'all can't hurt my feelings because my life is beautiful. I did everything.
No, I'm just trying to get a better understanding of your mindset. I'm not saying anything. So what is towards my mindset? My mindset is real different. My mindset is real different from a lot of women. I'm just trying to better understand your mind. What is my mindset?
What are you deriving all this? Ooh, that makes sense. What do you see?
That you want a strong family unit, that you want the families to be involved. You want to make sure that you're not getting into something crazy.
Yes. See,
there's what's wrong with that? I understand.
That nobody wants to see. There's a childhood trauma issue that nobody ever wants to talk about.
Exactly. So what if there's somebody in that family and the bloodline, it might be something, you feel me? We don't, I understand what you're saying. I totally get it. Like I said, my whole thing was the father thing, because some people have their father, like I said, what if their father happened to die? But you already explained that's one of your standards. So I get it.
Yeah. So it's plenty dudes that would take a woman who ain't got no daddy. It's just not me. And I want to say this. I actually have a card game that will actually help women and men vet each other properly. And it was created by a man, me. So it will be like your daddy talking to the man if you play the card game with a man. And the card game is called Deeper Discussions. And you go to Deeperdiscussions.shop or go to the link in my bio on TikTok or Instagram, and you'll be able to see it. Just go to my bio. It says Deeper Discussions, and it's a card game that will literally help you vet the man that you're dating. And that's the reason why I do what I do. I come out, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. So allow my card game to be your daddy, and let the card game.
I think that a lot of people, I think a lot of women in your comments, they're really pissed off about the dad thing.
No one cares.
You guys gotta be stopped. But I'm a woman, and I understand. We gotta take our feelings out. Logical, what he's saying makes logical sense. He's saying if you don't have that structure, then what's wrong with me saying I don't want that? Right. We do the same thing, women. So I want women, and I challenge women to stop being so emotional and be more logical. And that's all he's saying, y'all.
And that's the thing about it is,
MrLetGo, you're a good person. I just think that sometimes your delivery might be a little crazy, but you seem all right with me.
Crazy. I'm a man. See,
because you tell me I don't care. I don't suppose I care. I know, but sometimes that might hurt somebody's feelings. Listen, you can't be saying it so hard.
F y'all feelings. I don't care. Who are y'all? This is my life. I don't give a crap about y'all feelings. Who are y'all? What are you talking about?
Listen, I get it.
Why do y'all want a strange man to care about your damn feelings so much? That is weird.
Because don't nobody be caring in their real life, so that's all.
Thank you.
Know,
that's what I'm saying.
I know. I get it, MrLetGo. I get it. Trust me. We here.
I ain't never in my life just walked up to a stranger and said, "Oh, so you don't care about me?" That's what y'all be doing.
Well, this is my first live, y'all. This is my first live. They
don't care about themselves.
I'm about to get beat. I'm about to get whooped in your comments.
About yourself.
That part.
You expect everybody else to care. The world don't owe none of us understand.
Exactly.
Nobody does. Yes.
Thank you.
You went to church, got laid, died, fried, and baptized, and filled with the Holy Ghost. All you want to. That's great. God is God. But at the end of the day, everybody else in the world don't deserve you. Don't give that to you.
Nope.
So it doesn't matter. You have to deal with you are at the mercy of the marketplace.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Listen, they coming for me a lot, but this is my first time watching him. And what's wrong with me agreeing with what he's saying logically?
See, you
that's why
start,
I want some
so
women
that
to come up
means-
here. What is wrong with
so
that?
look,
What is
that
wrong
means
with
you
me
care
agreeing with a
about-
man?
So that means you care about what strangers care about, saying about you.
No, I want to. No. I don't give a shit what nobody said because don't nobody wake me up.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. So hold on.
No, but what I challenge women to stop.
One second. Hold on. I gotta read the super chats. Shout out to because I'm on YouTube also. No need to say for the $10 super chat, and then no need to say comes back with another $10 super chat. I appreciate you. He says, or they say,
Well, I'm finna knock her out the box.
hold on. Here is another out. Here is another out for women. A man with no job and multiple baby mamas is not bad intel. It's bad decisions. Ooh. All facts. It's not bad intel. It's bad damn decisions. And y'all love losers. I don't know why women.
But you know what? It is bad intel. You know why? Because the intel that they get from other women, and it don't help them.
Sure, say that, baby.
The black woman's biggest enemy. I agree. I agree with you.
Because girl, you know he be over there doing this, and girl, I seen him. That's how we go.
No, but what they try to do is they see. Here's the thing: they try to tell a man when a man say, "Okay, I don't like weed. Men don't like weed. This is what we like."
They keep wearing the shit.
Women with there's a video circulating right now with a few black men that was asked how they like their black women hair. They said all natural. None of them said weed. You got women that will turn around and tell MrLetGo and all his homeboys that just said we all like natural hair. No, y'all don't. That's not true. Y'all like weed. There's a lot of men. No, they don't. They'll date you. They'll take you out. They'll have a great time with you, smash you. But that's it. That's the difference. They love two different
plain James. Yeah, don't know. And as a woman, let's just be real. I don't want my man over here with these fake muscles and fake this and fake that.
There you go. That's the same analogy I use.
So when it's time to be real and real shit happen, your fake ass body can't do nothing. It's gonna be shutting down. So come on now.
And let me say this: Shana is fine, cute, and natural hair. So she's speaking from experience. Dream.
Well, I do got some faux locks right now. I got some faux locks. And I'm letting my hair grow some more. But I do wear my damn hair most of the time.
What's your thoughts?
Hi there.
Hey.
Hi. I just wanted to go back to like this daddy thing. Like, you know, so my father died when I was 3 years old, and I couldn't prevent that. So that doesn't make me a person that I'm not marriage material. I'm not dateable, or
I didn't say that.
Or any of that. Like I could be like the nicest person ever on the planet, and you're gonna just reject me because I don't have a dad.
How old was your dad when he died?
It doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense. How old were you when your dad died?
3.
Okay, so that is a lot of childhood trauma. Have you gotten therapy for that?
No. I didn't have to have therapy because I had a stepdad.
No, okay, you can do what you want to do, but losing a parent at the age of 3 requires therapy. If you choose not to get therapy, that's up to you. But you just proved my point. And this is the reason why I have the standards that I have. You possibly still have some trauma. I don't know you, but you possibly still have some trauma from your, dealing with that. And you possibly have not dealt with it yet. And you ain't finna come around me with all that trauma. So it's important for women to, 1, get therapy, 2, go to the gym and take care of their bodies, but 3, acknowledge the fact that they may have some issues that they have not addressed, instead of just saying, well, why don't you just take me? And why it's not fair that y'all got to respect the man's standards. You feel me? So the thing about it is,
okay, but one second.
Listen. If I say I'm not taking you serious or a woman serious because she ain't got no daddy, accept it instead of being like, that's not fair, because nobody cares what you think about me. You feel me? Go ahead.
Okay, but 1 minute. So I have a stepdad like I've had in my life for my whole entire life.
Had a father,
ever since I was 3.
So you have a father.
So I have a stepdad, but I have a father that died when I was my biological dad when I died when I was 3.
Okay, let's go to the next person, because you have a father. Why do women love to sit here and victimize themselves when they have the things that they talking about that they don't have? It'll be a woman like, oh, we were forced to, and then she got a whole man. We were forced to do everything by themselves. They got a whole husband. And then you're like, I didn't have a father, and you had a father. Why do y'all do this? You
Mr.
have
Lego, can I
a
answer
father.
that real quick? Can I answer that real quick? Let me tell you
What
why
is
they do
wrong?
this.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why real quick, and then they can go. The reason why a lot of women do not understand.
Why do they adopt other people's problems?
They don't look. This is not common. These types of questioning that men like y'all ask, and the things that you guys are communicating to women today. This red pill manosphere having this conversation. Or whatever it is, y'all know all the men's podcasts. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is people like Kevin Samuels, when they ask these kind of questions, he took them through a series of questions, asked them questions. When you ask women questions, they're not used to getting these types of questions because men don't ask them questions. The only thing they do is love bomb them to get them into a place. That's why they end up with babies. They're not used to getting asked these questions. They don't know how to answer these questions. These questions are questions they're not used to being asked. So what they're doing right now, you just having an exercise with their minds right now. That's all that is. They're not used to these questions.
They be single mothers and they ain't single mothers. The other woman was like, I'm just here to speak for the women who are going through something that I'm not going through. Why? It's just crazy. So let me read this super chat real quick. No need to say shout out to you. If the man does not love you, he will not love the child. This excludes men who are married to the mother most of the time. Okay, he said the word excludes. So that makes I can understand that. But yeah, that's the truth. But a lot of women don't really care. They just, I don't know. They just want to have a damn baby. So East Coast, what are your thoughts?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I'm back.
And have any of y'all bought my card game yet?
What's your card game?
There's 550 people on here, and none of y'all have bought my card game. It will literally help y'all with y'all issues.
Like questions for couples? Questions for couples or something?
It's called deeper. It's called Deeper Discussions.
Oh,
it's on the link of my TikTok bio and Instagram bio.
I'm new on here.
Amazon?
Huh?
I'm new here.
Huh? No. Okay, just go ahead, East Coast. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so ask the question.
What question?
What are you asking me?
What are your thoughts on the conversation thus far?
Well,
hello?
I think
okay.
I just hate that people judge people.
We're supposed to judge people. Only stupid people don't judge people.
No, but like
no. Only stupid people don't judge people.
They don't know what judgment is.
If somebody has a knife, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, he has a knife. I'm not going near that person, and I'm judging that person. They may be about to on a pry open a can of sardines or something, but if they have a knife, I'm going to judge that person as a murderer because I'm not stupid.
Well, that makes that makes sense.
Well, so what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, like,
only
I didn't mean it in that sense of the way. I just think that people, like, what I meant is people deal with things in different ways.
No, they don't. Most people are somewhat the same. We all deal with trauma somewhat the same way. It comes out in some type of way, but it's going to come out. So it sounds like you're trying to like, why don't you just accept women for the stupid shit that they do? And my answer is no. I'm not doing that shit. No. You ain't got no daddy. I'm not messing with you. You ain't got no sense. I ain't messing with you. No. You got a whole bunch of babies. I ain't messing with you. No. Does that make sense? East Coast?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because guess what? If you go to a company and if you ain't got your resume, if you ain't been to college, or if you ain't graduated from high school, they're going to kick your ass out. So I'm going to kick your ass out if you did the same thing in your personal life. You ain't got no daddy, get out. If you ain't got no therapy, get out. I'm gonna do you just like a company would. And you don't get mad at the white man when they kick you out, but you get mad at the black man for having standards. That's crazy. If you go to a car dealership and your credit is trash, they're gonna kick your ass out. And you mad at us for having standards? Why car dealerships and businesses, why can they have standards, but black men can't have standards?
Who said you couldn't?
Fair. That's not fair, East Coast.
But who said you couldn't, though?
You start off with
no.
Why do people judge people?
No, it has nothing to do with
you
with
are
a black
listen. You
man,
are
with a
telling
white
me
man or with any man. It has to do with like if I meet a man and he doesn't have a mama and he was raised by his father only, and maybe his mom died of cancer when he was 9 or something, and he was raised by his father. He's gonna have some trauma, yeah. But it doesn't make him not marriage material or a family man in the future, in his future.
Okay.
It's how he carries himself.
Did he get therapy?
Maybe he even goes to school. He has an education and he's a lawyer.
And that's what you would choose to deal with, man. Why does he have to be subject to his and lower his standard? If that's what he don't want to do, why is he forced, or why do you think he's wrong in that?
Hold on 1 second. Just a question. Did that man get therapy? Yes or no?
He would probably have to have therapy because his mom died of cancer.
Therapy,
right?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So if he got therapy and he was raised by the better parent, which is the father. The father is always, in most cases, the better parent. It's a good possibility he don't have any childhood trauma. Do y'all realize that the worst parent in most scenarios is a mother? Because women are emotionally, all over the place. Y'all always say, we're emotional. Being raised by the emotional parent, the weaker parent between the two, that's really where the majority of the trauma comes from. Do y'all know that? So if a man, especially a man, was raised by his father only, he most likely will have way less trauma than a woman that was raised by her mother mainly. And that's most of y'all. So think about that.
MrLetGo, did you have any trauma in your life?
Of course, we all have trauma in our lives.
Okay. And how did you deal with your trauma? You went to therapy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did it fix your issues?
Nothing fixes your issues. It makes you clear about your issues so you know how to compartmentalize your life so you can add more people to your life in more compartments. It's kind of like a trauma organizer. You know, you have a closet organizer. Therapy is like a trauma organizer. It helps you organize the trauma. It doesn't make you where you are traumaless or don't have trauma. It helps you organize everything so you can compartmentalize. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got country something. How you doing?
Country Carol. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. What are your thoughts? I've been on YouTube for like 3 hours. I'm finna go, y'all. Y'all getting all quiet. Y'all got something to know? Because I'm finna go. I'm finna get something to eat.
I got a question for the ladies on the Miss East Coast and Big Dream. Do you guys have a problem with the issue of him wanting to only date somebody who has a father?
I do.
It's his choice. What he chooses to do.
I really think that he is like, he could meet the most amazing woman on the planet, and she might not have a father, but she's amazing. She has charisma. She has a good job. She might even be like a single mom, and she could be an amazing woman. And treat him like a king. And he's just gonna just say, no, I don't want it.
Yep, you're right. You know what?
Yes, because it does happen.
Yes, he is.
Hold on. You know what makes her an amazing woman? If I deem her an amazing woman, and if she isn't amazing by me, she isn't amazing. So a woman can't be amazing unless someone sees her as being amazing, and which usually is a man. So unless a man views her or the marketplace views her as an amazing, she's not amazing. See, a lot of y'all delusional women, y'all think y'all amazing and y'all ain't. And that's y'all issue. That's y'all main issue right there. All y'all think y'all damn amazing. Most y'all ain't amazing.
I can agree with you on that.
So y'all gonna lie to yourselves. I'm amazing. No, you're not. Because if you ain't got no dad, you got 2 baby daddies, and you ain't been to therapy. Not saying it's any of y'all. I'm just saying your ass ain't amazing. So y'all gonna rant about being amazing all y'all want to. But one thing I know, y'all asses ain't bought my card game. So I don't think y'all can be amazing if y'all.
No, wait a minute. Was it on Amazon? Is Deeper Conversation?
It's on a link. You're on TikTok. All you have to do is go to TikTok. My link is in the.
I thought I saw that on.
You don't even have to go nowhere else. Just go to hit my little button if you can't see it from here. And on the top is Deeper Discussions. It's right on top. It's in my bio.
Okay, because I was gonna buy some of those. So since you have some, I'll buy yours.
Yeah, it's in the link in my bio on Instagram, link in my bio on TikTok, and link in my bio or link in the top of the chat on YouTube. Y'all hurt my feelings because ain't nobody buying my card game. So everybody watching right now, I got probably about 1,000 people watching all together. I have a card game, and if you would like to buy it, the link is in all of my bios, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, or whether it's on YouTube, or whether it's on Facebook. Okay, it's called Deeperdiscussions.shop. 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 Unless y'all don't want to go on my, but the link is in my bio.
All right, I'll check it out.
Okay, so
I was gonna buy some on Amazon and I didn't buy it yet, so I'll buy yours.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, does anybody have any other thoughts before we go?
No, I just caught the tail end of it.
Say it again.
I said no because my brain is fried. I'm good. I gotta get ready for the night so I can have some room to talk about. I was actually gonna talk about this Steve Harvey thing, but I'm gonna talk about Melanie King tonight because she disappointed me. But anyway, I'm a say good evening to you or goodbye, and I will see you again. I'm gonna get your card game.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, I'll talk to y'all later on TikTok.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, so everybody on TikTok right now, go to the link in my bio. All you got to do is hit the little red little button. You'll see my link. The link is at the top. Buy my dating card game. It will help you vet men, or if you're a man, it will help you vet women. Allow my card game to be the daddy that you don't have that will vet the person that you're dating. So y'all can hang out for a minute. I'm gonna talk to YouTube for a second. And this was a great I love TikTok. I appreciate TikTok. So YouTube, I'm about to go. I've been on here too damn long, but to buy my card game, the link is in the chat. The link is in pinned at the top of the comment section. Buy my card game. It's called Deeper Discussions. And here is what it's about real quick, because there's a woman who bought it.
Support MrLetGo. Shout out to you for this cool card game. You guys, the questions on here are actually really dope. Like, they're really good questions for couples, new relationship, old relationship. Like, these are actually really good questions on these cards. I'm gonna kind of try with one hand to show you an example of a question. Let's see. First question would be, what are your 5 absolute deal breakers in choosing a potential marriage partner? Like, these are the questions that are on these cards, y'all, and they're very, very entertaining, I promise.
What if I told you that playing a simple, fun card game will help you vet the person you're dating better? We all know that it's pee in a dating pool, right? But what do you do about this? Over 80 intriguing questions that will help you vet your mate better or the person you're dating better. You're going to have so much of a better understanding of not only the other person, but yourself. You know why? Because you now have a fun excuse to have deeper discussions. So either click the link below or click the link in my bio to buy your Deeper Discussions card game.